This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Sherry's Restaurants. We're looking at a mostly cloudy day with dry conditions as we make our way back to wind and rain on Friday. Highs in the mid-40s, and it's currently 38 in downtown Seattle. Sherry's Spring Berry Pancakes are here. Choose from blueberry, raspberry, or triple berry toppings with whipped cream and powdered sugar on a stack of fresh, fluffy buttermilk pancakes for just $6.99. And eggs? Buttermilk pancakes for just $6.99. Eggs, breakfast meat, and hash browns for $3 more. Sherry's Simply Great Food. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
Wait a second. Wait a second. It is 5:47. I'm Danny Bonaducci. This is KZOK. Good morning.
Hi.
How are you?
I think I've been working with Derek for too long.
Why?
You opened up your wallet,
Yeah?
and for some reason I thought you were going to make it rain.
Nope. But you're right. No, I'm serious. I was wearing a sport coat and it was a little snug on the biceps, on the guns, so I just put $1 in my underwear. So you're fine. You're absolutely completely and 100% on the right track. And then
He
later,
did just put $1 in his underwear.
Later at Act 2, Stage 2 of the show, Derek's coming out and with no hands taking that dollar out with his teeth. So wait for that moment.
I cannot wait.
That's one of my best skills.
Yeah, I figured, man. So looking forward to the Derek and Danny Underwear Show.
KZOK.com, Danny
Yeah.
TV.
Well,
Make sure you're watching that.
Don't do that. We might actually have to do it. But there really is a bucket in my underwear. Morning.
Good morning.
I know I say this to you every time, but you look very pretty in your pink outfit there.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome. Paul, you're here.
Yes, I am.
It's good to see you, man.
Yeah.
Kids, how you
likewise,
doing?
I guess.
Doing great.
Good.
Hey, boy,
Spectacular shirt today.
thank you.
I like it a lot.
I actually know what shirt I'm wearing today, only because Amanda, the overnight young lady, complimented me on it, and I looked down. I didn't know an hour ago when I put it on, because, as I've said many indication, I know she's going to send me with something offensive or stupid, or I'm with stupid and an arrow pointing up, something like that. But
You
this
were
is.
wearing a rooster yesterday.
I was a big red one, and it
big
was
red.
hard not to describe it all day long. And I think legally I'm within my rights, but I think it's just you're showing off if you do that. So now I've got an underwear. My dollar in my underwear in life is cool. I was going to start the show with bad boys, what you going to do? When we used to work at the other place, exactly the same mile from my house, I used to see cops all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm usually doing something illegal. It sounds weird. It's not fun. I'm not doing anything bad, but it's got to be 25 miles an hour in my Queen Anne neighborhood. I'm doing 35 to 50, I would imagine. It's 4 in the morning. What are you doing? Who's going to hurt me?
Right.
So, and I've been able to get away, but then there's the red lights on Mercer and then the one at Dexter. They're forever. You sit there too. Well, I eventually decide what's safe and sound, and then I run them.
Mm-hmm.
I often don't run them because there's a lot of cops on Mercer, and then there's a bunch of cops on Dexter. And by the way, if you're, some police officers listen because they've called in. I just want you to know, if I do any of those things on your beat and you get me, I deserve that ticket. I won't beg, I won't plead, I won't do anything. I'll say, you're right, officer. I am terribly sorry. I knew I was doing it. I shouldn't have done it. But on the way here now, down Queen Anne Avenue, to either whatever the Roy, if the lights are red, or Mercer, if the lights are green, and I turn right instead of left. Zum, 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 all the way here. Scratch a U-turn, life is good, not one police officer yet. Like 9 cops today. What's going on?
I
There's
saw
been
a
a
bunch
threat?
of police activity.
Yeah,
out there,
what's up?
Something must be happening.
And they were pickup trucks that I was seeing. Police
Really?
pickup trucks. Yeah.
I saw the Jeep, whether it's an actual Jeep or not, but I saw the SUV cop car, but that's all I saw.
They
You know
might
what they
be
look
cleaning
like?
out some encampments.
They
Maybe.
are?
They might be, is what I said. That's why
Didn't
they're
your
there.
husband see a fire in one of the encampments?
He called 911, and they wanted nothing to do with him.
You're kidding.
He saw a bonfire
Right.
right at the base of the Space Needle.
Oh, you got to call me.
And I said, well, why didn't you call Paul? He said, well, I called 911 like a responsible person.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's right.
And they said, well, is it out of control? And he said, it's a bonfire at the base of the Space Needle. And they said, well, is it contained? And he said, I don't believe so because bits of it just went into the street and
It's
now
a
there's a bonfire in the
bonfire.
street.
Right.
This is on Broad Street in downtown Seattle, right next to the Space Needle. And they seemed very reluctant to want to do anything about it.
Well, again, it's funny because I went out of my way to be nice to the police and say, I know what I'm doing is illegal and it's my fault. I'm kind of going to go out because these encampments drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Now, the homeless, I donate money to the appropriate charities to help the homeless, to get them permanent dwellings, things like that. I've done stuff for Habitat for Humanity. I sent some money to President Carter one year, but it's mostly I keep it local now, much like Bill and Melinda Gates, except with just less dough. I realize a lot of this charity should stay at home. There's some people in real life crisis.
Yeah.
But that's one problem. Litter and fires and danger and being aggressive are another problem. I don't appreciate it, and I react badly to it. When I'm the mayor, and I almost said the F word. When I'm the mayor, and I love you, Puyallup, and everything, but I think I'm going to have to be the mayor of Seattle. Because then I will
It's about
fix
time
this.
to move up, yeah.
I will fix this. I swear to God, if you elect me king, I will take care of this. I've worked it out.
You have.
I don't really know all the laws.
Okay, you don't
You'll
know
learn
if
them.
you can do what you want to do.
I think I can. Just people would say you shouldn't. I
okay.
think will be the difference. What I would do.
Does it involve tasing?
No, it does not involve. Doesn't involve anything crazy. It involves, because you cannot incarcerate or detain a free American who's not breaking the law and isn't a danger to himself and to others.
Right.
To find whether a guy is a danger to himself and to others is an expensive process. Psychiatrists ain't free. Believe me, I know. So you can't do all those things. So the police don't know what to do. So they don't want to go because they don't want to deal with these guys. That even if they're aggressive and they get arrested, they're out 5 minutes later. You can't arrest these guys. Blah blah blah. When I'm king, I will enforce the littering. The two big L's. I hope these words start with L, or I'm going to look like a stupid king. Loitering and littering.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
will-
good.
I will enforce them incredibly. Now we don't have a debtor's prison, as I think it was Rick Jones pointed that out.
You could change that as king.
But no, I don't want to because it's obviously we don't have it because it's crazy. We had it in most of Dickens' stories start in debtor's prison. They're horrible and you get rat bites. I'm not doing any of that. What I'm going to do is say, littering. There's littering all over your encampment. There's fires. It's all sorts of danger. Well, the littering is a $500 fine. The loitering is a $500 fine. That's what it says on the book. There's big signs.
Yeah.
Okay. So I arrest you. You owe me $1,000. I'm the king. My kingdom now is owed $1,000 by you. Well, I don't have $1,000. If I had $1,000, I wouldn't live in this tent. Bummer. Here's what you can do. You can go to jail for 3 years, or you can come to this really cool place that'll give you 3 meals a day, and I'll pay you $8 an hour to work, and you'll work the fine off, and then I will release you. So that's what I'll do as king. That's my starter
All right, that's a
program.
good
Sounds
plan.
pretty great. Yeah.
No, when
I
you
said,
saw
this
the-
dollar bill is itching my thing.
When you saw the cops this morning, were you thinking you had done something wrong?
I had done something wrong. What I was thinking was, did they see that?
Yeah.
So you were speeding and running red lights.
I was coming down Queen Anne, which is 25, maybe going 40, and I'm deciding because it's a weird intersection there. Like it isn't a four-way. It's an odd angle. So it's real big for anything that will cause you, that could possibly be in your way. You can see it from a mile away. So if the light is red, I slow down, but I'll stop and I take a hard right and then take a left and get back on Mercer and come. If the red light is not a red light and it's green, I go to Mercer. So I was going 40 and I'm not slowing down because I'm going to run this light. And I realized that car, there's a cop. So I slam on my brakes, but I'm behind the white stripe.
Yeah.
And then the thing is, can he see how fast I was going by the way I hit my brakes?
Nah.
And so then I said, too suspicious to turn right now. Now I'm going to get behind him at Mercer. He goes what I would think into the right turn lane, but it's not. It's the park. It's where you pull over to park. And so I just go behind him because I will go. And he waves me around. And I go, well, this is it. Here we go. I got my phone out, ready to call you guys. And, what the hell? I'll probably be done with the ticket by the time I'm normally done with the story, so it's not breaking my heart. So I go, okay, here I go. And I go around and he just stares at me as I go around. And I think, is he following me? Is he following me? And I'm really looking in my mirror and I said, he's not following me. I look up and I'm right behind a cop. Another cop in like a van cop. It's like Cop Central out there. So everybody be safe.
This week, there was a disturbing story involving an ICE chief counsel here in Seattle. The chief counsel for U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement was charged with stealing the identities of multiple immigrants over a 4-year span. Rafael Sanchez is accused of devising a scheme to defraud banks by using the identities of 7 people who were in various stages of immigration proceedings.
But people he's trying to deport, and he's taking their identities.
I think in some cases they might have been starting the process legally to immigrate here. They're saying that he did, however, devise a scheme to defraud American Express, Bank of America, Capital One, trying to obtain money using their identities.
Because they haven't had time while they were busy sneaking across the border to get credit cards and then not pay their bills. Their credit looks good.
Well, he resigned from his post this week.
Did you say credit karma? No, that's not how you spell it.
He is facing charges of aggravated identity theft and wire fraud. In Amazon's latest conquest, the company has toppled Microsoft to become the 3rd most valuable company in the world.
I did topple Microsoft to be 3rd.
And I thought you were saying they had just bought Microsoft. And that was,
Which just seems
never
possible.
know.
I thought, how did I miss that Amazon bought Microsoft?
Amazon's stock closed up $36.54 a share, or a 2.6%, giving the company a market capitalization of $702.5 billion.
Jeez Louise.
To top Microsoft for the first time, whose stock was 799.2.
So who's 1 and
barely.
2?
Apple? It's got to be
'Cause
Apple.
Apple was my first guess.
And Google.
It is
That's not
Apple
Google, would be my guess.
and Alphabet, who are Google's parent.
Google's parent
right.
Alphabet, yeah.
And let's see, Apple, 849.2. Google's parent Alphabet at 746. They have a long way to go, but they are,
They're trying.
yeah.
Yeah.
And doing it pretty darn
They
good.
get
Okay.
one of those participant trophies.
Yeah.
There are a lot of trees that have been dying in Skagit County's Sauk River Park, but they say it is not from disease, but from chainsaws. Dozens of firs, hemlocks, and cedars up to 150 years old are being cut down by poachers. According to the park's supervisors, it's out of control, it's a crying shame, and at least 30 trees have been cut down in the past 2 months.
So these guys are cutting it down and getting it on the back of a truck?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's all public property. People go in and fish and hike.
Yeah, when I'm
Yeah.
king, as we discussed this morning, I
Yeah.
am outlawing wood, like first thing.
Yeah?
And there's no way in the world of Google and Amazon and what's his face saying rockets to the moon that can re-land on little little targets that we can't build something that's not. You don't have to cut down a tree. It seems archaic.
Well, the people cutting them down are then trying to sell them as firewood to fuel their drug habits. And so drug addicts with chainsaws.
And they're trying to sell it to mills.
No, for people to use as firewood.
Oh,
Selling
right,
on
right.
Craigslist, truckloads of firewood. These guys are going in the middle of the night and cutting these trees down. Like I'm frightened when a tree's falling and it's, in the middle of the day and I've planned it all out and, positioned the ropes in a certain way.
But if
I
you
can't
can't-
imagine going in the woods in the middle of the night with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
If you can't see it, though, does it make any noise?
No,
That's
I
what's
don't,
important.
I don't think so. But you
Accord-
make some noise when it hits your head,
Yeah,
when it
right.
lands on you.
A cord of wood can fetch between $300 and $500.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah. I mean, when I go to QFC, it really bothers me to pay $4.99 for a bundle of wood because I don't even know how many bundles are in a cord, but
A
I'm
bunch
probably,
of bundles. in a
Yeah.
cord.
Yeah, I'm paying so much more than that. I would buy a cord of wood if I didn't live in a 1,000 square foot apartment.
If you had someplace to store it.
Yeah. In national and international news, details are still coming in about the gunman who opened fire at a southern Florida high school yesterday, killing 17 people, injuring many others, sending students running for their lives. At this point, what we know from this incident at Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, 17 deaths reported. The suspect, 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz, is in custody, will be in court today. They said he went into the school where he was not a student any longer. He had been expelled for disciplinary reasons. Went into the school, pulled a fire alarm, and when
Jeez
all the
Louise.
students left the classroom is when he opened fire. A lot of people, when this first happened, said, well, where are his parents? Why didn't the parents know or do anything? His parents have died, and he did not.
Of natural causes?
Yes.
Okay.
One of them died. Well, one of them died of a heart attack. One of them died of pneumonia just last year, and his adopted mother died as well.
Okay.
And so he had been living with a family friend. They said he had very alarming social media posts, and that Donald Trump this morning saying, why didn't we know? Why didn't people do more?
I hate to ever be on Donald Trump's side, but he seems right about that. There's a picture of him on the internet. I think it was his site, but anyway, it's a picture of him holding, I think it's an AK-47 and yelling. Well, he's not yelling. It's I forget how he posted it, but dirty threats with dirty words in them. How do you not notice that?
And I guess it's the slippery slope. I mean, what do you do when somebody's posting themselves with a gun on social media? It's not illegal. Being angry on social media is not illegal.
I think there were full-blown threats in one or two or more of his tirades.
Yeah.
But either way, I don't know why a 19-year-old has guns, a bunch of guns anyway.
Yeah. Now, of course, they will continue to try to find out what the motive was, because at this point, authorities do not know. But a tragic story affecting everybody this morning out of Florida. Elon Musk's SpaceX, fresh off the successful launch this month of the world's most powerful rocket, won an endorsement yesterday from the top U.S. communications regulator to build a broadband network using satellites. FCC Chairman Ajit Pai proposed an approval of an application of SpaceX to provide broadband services using satellites worldwide.
Wow.
So, like, we have our router in our living room and don't get internet in our bedroom upstairs. Imagine if it's coming from space. That's going to be terrible Wi-Fi, right? Like, I've got one bar, Elon. Come on. Maybe he has better technology though than I bought at Best Buy or whatever.
I know this is going to sound stupid, but I always wonder, like, Danny has Dish TV. How does that work?
Don't know.
It's getting beamed from
Satellite
outer
TV,
space?
yeah.
It's
What?
and it seems to be getting better now. Dig this. And I don't have it. And I don't know if I can get it. You ever see those sales and they say, oh, this sale does not apply to existing members? So it's
Yeah,
like,
all the
what a
time.
rip. Well, the Dish Network, you know how you can talk to the remote? It's like my favorite thing in the world. And you'd say sports maybe. Or you could say Family Guy or something like that, right? Now, if you want to watch a movie but you can't remember the title of the movie, you can say, here's looking at you, kid, and the movie will play Casablanca.
Whoa.
Yeah, you can just
Wow.
do dialogue with it. I want to do it just to do it.
Yeah.
That sounds bitchy.
But it's working for yours presently, you're saying, or you
no,
have
no,
to...
I can't get it because I'm an existing Who's It's guy.
Oh, that's like an
Technical term.
upgrade
Right.
that you can't get? Wow.
I wonder if mine does that. I don't think mine does that. I'm going
Try
to go home
today.
and talk to my remote.
And take video. Do that for sure.
Yeah.
The White House budget director says the military parade envisioned by President Donald Trump could cost between $10 and $30 million.
Wait, what? What is?
The parade that Donald Trump wants to have?
Oh, I thought they dumped it. The military might parade?
Yes.
I thought they dumped it and said
With
you can't
tanks
do it.
rolling
Yeah.
down the streets
like
of
they
Washington,
do in
D.C.
Russia
Yeah.
and North Korea.
It's all very Soviet sounding.
Yeah.
The administration has not decided to go forward with it, but hasn't completely rejected it. But a lot of people say, hey, it's a wonderful idea, but who's paying for that?
Well, that's two questions. My first question is, who the hell's saying that's a wonderful idea? Because I have not heard that yet.
I mean, love the military,
Yeah.
love our country. It sounds super weird.
Super weird to show our. It's a nuclear. You know what a nuclear missile is? It's a gun.
Yeah.
All it is. It's a gun. It's a big gun. It shoots a lot of people on time. Who wants to? You don't whip out your guns in public. It's rude and
strange.
weird. Well, we gotta go for a big bowl of borscht later.
We probably won't have tickets for that military might parade, but we do have that giveaway to go to Los Angeles and see the award shows.
Well said.
You can even find some borscht down there.
Probably, yeah.
I like borscht.
You do?
I do.
God, I hate it.
I went to a Russian restaurant when I was in Mexico over Christmas.
Yeah,
and
makes perfect sense.
thought that was really strange. And we
Who
ordered
doesn't spend their Christmas at a Russian restaurant in Mexico?
we ordered borscht, and I realized I had actually never had it before, and I thought it was soup blended with beets, like a creamy, like cream of broccoli soup or something.
It's a cold beet soup, isn't it?
It's a cold vegetable soup that has beets. It's not primarily a beet soup. It's got chunks of celery and
I'm out when it comes. I hate celery.
And are they blended? Are the beets blended or they're like shredded?
it's more like a vegetable soup, but
Yeah.
it's red.
And it's cold though, right?
You can have it cold or hot.
You can. I think I
Yes.
got ripped off.
You've only had it cold? You got
Yeah.
ripped off.
Because I like to go get sushi in Mexico at the Japanese restaurant. That's actually right.
And that's where you had Porsche.
I did.
Police in Canada say suspected carbon monoxide poisoning symptoms among a group of vacationers turned out to be something entirely different. They were at this cottage. They started to feel what they thought were the effects of carbon monoxide
Where are they?
poisoning. Canada.
Yeah.
They were in a little cottage in the northern Bruce Peninsula.
The poutine pass out, is that what it's called? I wish Canadians had more stuff because I could do this all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Molson monoxide malaise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
all
cool
right.
food, but all right.
Definitely out. They called the authorities and said, I think
There's authorities in Canada, or did they had to call the U.S., right?
They called the Royal Mounted Police and said,
But close to nothing.
I believe that we are experiencing carbon monoxide poisoning. Something's happening. A fire department truck arrives at the scene, looks through the whole house, and that's when they realized that it wasn't carbon monoxide. It was edibles. Cannabis.
So how did they
Marijuana.
not know? So they
Weed.
just didn't know they were high?
Yep.
But was it not their edibles?
Yeah,
Or-
like the neighbor brought over a tray of brownies.
One of the vacationers had baked a pot-laced brownie cake, and they felt sick. Probably were not accustomed to edibles.
But didn't the guy say,
Yeah.
I dosed
Why
you with
didn't he-
brownies?
Why didn't he pipe up?
Well, as you've said, Danny, there are a lot of people who call the cops on themselves,
Oh, yeah.
not understanding how messed up they are.
That's true.
They thought that it was carbon monoxide. They
We're
felt
all
weird.
dying, eh?
Poutine pass out.
It's the poutine pass out.
Well, I hate to say it, but Poop Fest has struck again.
No.
We had in Denver, the Denver area, what were they calling her? The Mad Pooper?
Yeah, Matt
Sure,
Pooper.
yeah, the man pooper.
The woman who was out jogging and bypassed the porta potty to go in someone's lawn.
And she didn't seem that mad about it either. She seemed like she was having a good time.
Then there was another one. And this one was nowhere near this part of the country, so it was a different lady. It's happening again, this time in Connecticut. A woman has been arrested after she went number 2 in her cul-de-sac 3 times in 1 month.
Poop fest.
Yeah.
The woman has apologized, said, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's lactose intolerance."
No, it's not.
But she's right outside her own house.
Yep, in a cul-de-sac, so it's not like it's that far.
no, it's
Yeah.
intolerance, but she's intolerant of her neighbors.
They said that they found some number 2 in the cul-de-sac. And we're like, what the heck? That doesn't look right.
No.
They had it analyzed to realize found it was human. Then they
Do you
found
have to have it analyzed to see that it's human? I would know.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I might not be able to identify the person. Oh, that's Becky for sure. But human's human.
They then decided to put up a hidden camera and trapped her. Were able to track down the woman because she lives there.
Yeah, the crap cam.
Holly Malone said, "I'm not supposed to eat or drink dairy products, but sometimes I do, and I just go wherever I have to go." She was arrested. Breach of the peace.
Well, yeah, I don't know what you arrested her for, but she should most certainly be arrested.
Yeah, definitely.
There's
Although, do
something
you remember
wrong.
not that long ago, I had this exact problem, but it was, I didn't have a choice. I could not make it home.
But if you did that every 3 days or so, then you shouldn't leave the house, or you should wear a diaper,
Or maybe don't have dairy products.
or don't have dairy products.
Yeah, all of the above, but that's not what the problem was there. Don't guess. It's a horrible problem.
I don't think I want to know. I won't ask. A man used a ruse to get into an elderly woman's home and rob her. He knocked on the woman's door and said, "My cat ran in your backyard. I need a can of tuna fish to lure it out." She said, "Okay, I'll go and get you some tuna fish." He followed her inside, tied her up, and robbed her.
Is that the way you repay? Is this a neighbor or just a random?
A random. Yeah, some rando dude.
Wow.
If I saw a stranger say, "I need a can of tuna fish," I would be skeptical of that right away, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. They're
Yeah.
not getting let in my house with your
Although
ruse.
I wonder about that with my lovely wife and stuff. The part of the door is glass, and if you move your head around, you can probably see who it is. This is before we had the camera there, but we don't. The doorbell rings or somebody knocks, and I open it up. If that was a killer, we'd be in big trouble.
Yeah.
Now we
Yeah.
have that Ring doorbell thing, but it takes like, I don't know, 30 seconds to upload to your phone or whatever
Oh,
it is.
yeah.
So the person is either gone because doesn't believe we're home, so we've disappointed a murderer, or somebody didn't deliver the package that we need. So I love that as a great invention of the 21st century. The Ring doorbell is great, but it has some flaws in it. But I'm not going to give a guy, the point of that is I'm not giving you tuna fish.
I didn't think of it from the perspective of being at home. I always thought about your Ring doorbell as when you're not home, you can see.
I think that's what it's for, but we're lazy and there's 10 steps.
So when the doorbell rings, you wait a few seconds and then you look at your phone to see who's there.
In life, my wife acts like she's in the witness protection program, and I hate it. This is your part of the world, not mine. She looks at the thing that he's calling and goes, "Fake number." And now I don't know why we get so many fake numbers. It almost
Yeah.
always is. She's right about that. But, or the other thing goes, "Your call is from California." That's her mom. She either takes that or doesn't take that. But she never answers the phone. She's like deciding who it's from until they stops ringing. I go, whoever that was. If it's the "I want to give Danny $1 million" company, that was a drag. And the other one with the doorbell, we just sit around and wait for the thing to come up on our phone, and then we don't answer that either.
Well, you've had some randos show up at your door, so I don't blame
I
her.
like randos. I'm a fan. But if she
You
were random,
are a
I
fan
think
of randos.
Yeah.
A Tennessee drug bust resulted in investigators hauling in a massive amount of painkillers and cash. Now, we know that there is a problem with oxycodone, Oxycontin. People have issues with prescription pills that are not in their name, right? People
Yeah.
buying and selling
Or
prescription
even
pills.
prescription pills in their name.
Right, yeah.
This is somebody who they have dubbed Kingpin Granny.
That
Betty-
is terrible alliteration right there. That's awful.
Betty Jean Jordan is 75 years old, and they found her hiding over 1,000 pills, morphine, oxycodone, and $12,000 worth of cash. The Kingpin Granny, they're saying, is a seedy septuagenarian, and she's peddling pills to people.
How the hell
that
did you
was
get
better,
through that?
yeah.
Was awesome. I think that you have to be congratulated, young lady.
75!
75, 1,000 pills. Those pills go for $50 to $80 now, right?
I think so.
I think so.
I
Yeah.
haven't bought a lot of Oxy on the street
when
lately.
I first became aware of them, I think they were 20, and then
Wow.
the next thing you know, they were $80, and that spins off into people becoming heroin addicts
Yep.
because
Yeah.
it's a much
Because they
better
can afford
deal.
it, yeah. And I was going to see if anyone here knew, but I know nobody here knows how much they are now. I think that's
The last time I heard they were $80,
approximately right.
and I
Yeah.
ask. I like to keep my finger on the pulse of drug world,
Just to know.
just to
in
know.
case.
And who do you ask?
Well, I can't tell you that 'cause a couple of them work here.
There's a few people in the building I can
Yeah.
think of.
2 men were arrested after 2 pounds of cocaine were found in a pair of fake butts at Lisbon International Airport.
All right, I want to hear it. Here we go.
They're kind of cute. There's pictures
Fake
of
butts?
them. Fake butts. It's,
Isn't that how ODB's mannequin got it?
imagine, gosh, I don't even know how to explain this. How you've got like a rubber mask that you can pull over your face.
Sure.
It kind of looks like that, but it's a butt.
But you
And-
pull it over your butt or over your face?
You put, you could be a butt face.
You could get butt facial. Remember we were talking about that
Yes.
yesterday?
Yeah.
And only we looked around. Derek's had some.
It's a big plastic fake butt that you could put on your person to make it fill out your jeans.
Oh, okay. I've seen those underwear.
It's similar. And inside of there, it was the cushion-like implants that were attached to a bathing suit and inside full of drugs.
Yeah.
They thought they were being so smart. It was portioned out into the big fake butts, and the men were busted. I would imagine if you go through the airport with big fake butts or big fake boobs, they're going to attract attention.
If you've got big fake boobs full of pills, you're going to get busted for sure. Mm-hmm. You're going to get asted if you have them in the back door.
And these were men?
Yes.
So, yeah. I think a woman might have a better chance of getting away with it, especially the boobs one.
We are going to take a short break. When we come back, some very cool Led Zeppelin news to talk about. A huge actor was in a huge car wreck yesterday.
Okay, yesterday I just assumed Meatloaf. Now I don't know who I'm going to talk about.
No, huge actor. Could still be Meatloaf.
It could be. What gold medal winning Olympic athlete is now facing a lot of criticism for what he did?
Oh, I wonder if I saw it happen.
Yeah.
I won't step in the story, but I saw something happen, and I thought, you know what? This guy just won medals. He's great. But is he doing something wrong right now?
Yep.
I can't wait.
A lot of people talking about that and so much more going on, including some big Seahawks news next in sports.
This traffic report is brought to you by Phillips Law Firm. Seeing some stop and go traffic in Marysville on I-5 southbound between 88th Street and Highway 529. And also in Sumner on 167 northbound between Highway 410 and Ellingson Road, seeing some minor delays there as well. Auto accidents can happen anytime, all the time. If you or a loved one have been injured in a car accident, call Phillips Law Firm today for a free case evaluation. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Muckleshoot Casino. We're looking at a mostly cloudy day with dry conditions as we make our way back to rain and wind on Friday. Highs in the mid-40s and it's currently 38 in downtown Seattle. Get ready to laugh out loud on Thursdays at 8 p.m. with LOL Comedy Nights at Muckleshoot Casino. Enjoy a full night of boisterous, joyful, free entertainment inside Club Galaxy. Visit muckleshootcasino.com for showtimes. Muckleshoot Casino, the biggest and best in the Northwest. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
Starting with music news, Led Zeppelin are about to reissue their 2003 live record, How the West Was Won, but Jimmy Page said more recordings of the legendary group in concert are on the way. In a new interview, he said there is a live project on the way and plenty more to come. He said, we wanted to make sure that we don't release everything all at once, and there's so many different things that are going to be coming out, and I'm looking forward to people hearing more of our live concerts.
Smart on the part of Mr. Page or somebody, because it's a big deal to record a live album. If you're not going to release it back in 1971 or 1968, you need there's a lot of work that goes involved in recording an album that will be good enough to be released and then not releasing it. That's a lot of foresight.
Yeah.
And amid the bevy of Prince auctions that are offering his clothing, handwritten lyrics, other bits of the life of Prince, a lot of different items are up for sale, up for auction. But a former Minnesota studio owner is offering a very unique item on eBay, a co-songwriting credit on Prince's first solo single, Soft and Wet. This guy, Chris Moon, is credited with co-writing the lyrics. And
he is credited. If I can look at a single,
yep,
it'll say Chris Moon on it.
If you look at the single for Soft and Wet, he has co-writing credits.
Well, soon it could say Danny Bonaducci.
Well, we'll see. I don't understand yet.
He said, it's very unusual, but this is completely real, and nobody has ever done anything like this. I understand why some people won't believe it. The buyer won't be recognized as Prince's co-songwriter. It's not going to say Danny Bonaducci.
Well, then what's the point?
Royalties. You will receive songwrite royalties, revenue from streaming, album purchases, and any future earnings that the song generates.
And so can't you just do a quick Google search of what it generated last year and find out that way what a good deal is? Is that what it is? That it's not worth anything? Because I'm a huge Prince. Well, I'm not a huge Prince fan. I'm a big Prince fan. I think everything he did was awesome. But I've never heard of Soft and Wet or Squishy and Blue or whatever the hell it is.
Right.
Well, he does say you're not going to get rich off of this. The last time he...
It's a great marketing campaign there. Here, buy this thing from me. You won't make money.
Well, I don't think it's for making money. I think it's you want that credit. You want to print records or whatever it is. You want to put the poster up in your room or some such thing.
Rick Jones is a huge Prince fan. When he went to the Super Bowl a couple weeks ago, he went to a tour of Paisley Park and said it was just... brought him to tears. His urn is there with Prince in there. He said it was.
Of course, he earns. He's worth $1 million. Now, so what? Okay, so what's it cost, and what do you get in return?
Okay, so here's what he says. The only time he's made a significant amount of money was when MC Hammer sampled the song for a song in 1990. It is possible somebody would want to...
Yeah, because MC Hammer is doing so well financially right now.
But at the time, back in 1990, he was a bazillionaire.
Right.
It is possible somebody would want to sample Soft and Wet, and then you, Danny, or Rick Jones, would own songwriting credit.
All right, so what's it cost?
You can bid on it, or you can do the buy it now, which is $490,000.
Yeah, sure it is, yeah. I do not see the upside on this at all.
No.
For a super fan, maybe, but it's still $500,000.
But you don't get the credit.
You don't get, I can't see that you get anything.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you get future royalties.
Future royalties.
of
Right,
an
but this is
unknown
not
amount of
about,
money,
it's
right?
obviously not about royalties. It's about bragging rights.
Yes.
And really, then therefore it's about lying rights. So you get to say, I co-wrote the song that you did not co-write.
Yeah, I mean, think
And
of it.
I don't like it when musicians put out this, he put out an album, and the people on the cover of that album should play and sing. And if they're not doing that, they're lying and they should be incarcerated.
Are you not one
Who
of
do we
those
know
people?
who's been on an album and didn't do any of the music? on
Close
there?
to 40 million albums.
I would imagine if your wife was able to buy a songwriting credit on John Lennon's album, she probably would.
Yeah, she can do whatever she wants. I don't understand this, and therefore my money's not going in. No matter what it is, if there's no, do this, you're going to get this and this and this, and you totally want this, but I can't get it, then I think you'd be foolish to do it, and I don't understand it.
Actor Luke Wilson and pro golfer Bill Haas were involved in a car crash in Los Angeles that left one person dead and 2 people injured, including this pro golfer.
Did they smash into each other?
It's a bit of a strange accident. According to KTLA, this involved a Ferrari and a BMW. The driver of the Ferrari was a 71-year-old man pronounced dead at the scene.
Wow, that's weird. I would have guessed that guy last.
Yeah.
I'd go, well, the rich golfer or the movie star.
Right.
Now, Haas, the golfer, was a passenger in the Ferrari, and a 50-year-old unidentified woman were transported to the hospital. Luke Wilson, the actor, was driving a Toyota SUV that was sideswiped by the Ferrari right before the crash. The LAPD says his vehicle basically got clipped by the Ferrari. Witnesses say that Luke Wilson then parked his car and ran over and helped get the woman out.
Of what?
The vehicle that had crashed, the Ferrari. So he's involved in the
Right.
crash. He has nothing to do with it. He's just driving along. He
No,
gets
he got
sideswiped.
clipped, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, but I'm saying he wasn't at fault. He was just driving.
Right.
He gets clipped. He pulls over. This car is wrecked, and he goes in through the back and helped carry her out of the destroyed vehicle
Right.
until paramedics arrived.
There's a dead guy in the story, isn't there?
There is a dead guy in this story. He was the one driving
The Ferrari.
the Ferrari.
The clipped Luke Wilson and it killed him?
Yeah, they have not disclosed how this 71-year-old man died. He
Where's the
might have-
golfer?
The golfer was a passenger in the vehicle.
Oh, it was a
And
lady
Luke Wilson.
golfer.
No, there's a woman involved in this as well. And I don't know if she was in the vehicle or another vehicle. This is all the
here's
information
what I'm
I
getting.
have.
I'm getting Luke Wilson's driving down the street in an SUV.
Yep.
A Ferrari driven by a 71-year-old man.
Yep.
Clips him. Luke Wilson parks, gets out, goes in through the back, and helps a lady out.
Yes.
How
but
does the 71-year-old guy that clips a car be dead?
maybe he had a heart attack.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he might have had a
There's
drug
not a third
overdose
car?
for all I know.
There's no
there
third
may
car?
be a third car. It's hard to tell when I was looking at the pictures of this because the Ferrari is so mangled.
From clipping somebody?
I think he then ran
Oh,
into
right.
something. But a lot of witnesses say that Luke Wilson wound up being a hero by helping get this woman out of the destroyed vehicle.
Sounds like he clipped and killed an old man in a Ferrari to me.
He was not to blame, Luke Wilson.
I
And
wouldn't
again,
blame
this
him.
is the
Watch
actor
this.
Luke Wilson,
Sounds
not the
like-
Seahawk. Jordan Peele wants to thank fans for their support of his movie Get Out by getting them in to screenings of his movie for free. The movie was written and directed by Jordan Peele, received 4 Oscar nods. It will be shown on President's Day at select AMC theaters for free.
Right on.
Have you seen it yet?
Amy saw it, said it was good.
I really liked it. Paul, you haven't seen it
I
yet?
haven't. I've heard great things.
Anybody else see Get Out?
Yeah, I saw it in theaters and loved it. It was a fantastic movie.
Super, super good. I don't know about Oscars, but
I don't know about Oscars.
the acting was phenomenal and the super original story. Very, very, very good. You can go to AMC's website to find out about a location showing it for free near you.
Okie dokie.
TV and movie producer Ryan Murphy is expanding his empire to Netflix. The streaming service says Murphy signed a deal to produce a new series and a new string of films exclusively for Netflix starting in July. He is the man behind Glee, 911, which is a very popular brand new show, American Crime Story.
Oh, right. That looks like a good show.
It is good. American Crime Story, which has been hugely successful, and American Horror Story.
So he's made a few things that have done pretty well.
Yeah, he's doing all right. But they have said that those shows will continue. It's not that this deal will make him not allowed to do those anymore. He's also got 2 other shows, but they will be now all coming out on Netflix.
Neat.
Oh, he also did one of your favorites, Eat, Pray, Love.
Oh, it is one of my favorites. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Only because it's a pretty good movie, but it looks like a great life. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Traveling the world, eating well,
Praying.
boning that hot Spanish
Wow,
guy.
yeah.
That sounds good. What's his name?
the Spanish guy.
Yeah, hot Spanish guy. Everybody likes him these days. Is he married
Javier
to
Bardem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's actually not that hot. Matter of fact, he's not hot at all. He's
No.
just, his way is cool enough to transcend his face.
Yeah.
In fact, he's kind of ugly.
Yes, he is.
But yet he's
He's
a very attractive man.
Yeah, good catch. Yeah. Rich, suave, deboner, or whatever he wants to do. Yeah, I like
And he is married to Penelope Cruz.
that's it. I was going like Selma Hayek or something.
Season 16 of Top Chef has a new home. It's headed to Kentucky. Padma, Tom Colicchio, Gail Simmons, Graham Elliott are all headed to Kentucky. They will be airing new episodes in this, taping them this spring to air next year. They said that Kentucky has a very strong food identity and that the incoming chefs will be inspired by that burgeoning culinary scene.
Has anybody ever heard that Kentucky has a very big culinary identity?
I'll tell you right now, places that you would never think. Because what it is, I think Kentucky's going, what do we have to offer? Nothing. Well, chefs
Whiskey.
are
Whiskey.
like, yeah, right. Chefs are kind of like painters or things. They can be anywhere and do anything. And they're really asking them, please come to Kentucky. Because you go to Minneapolis right now, great top-notch restaurants in every corner.
I think it's a scene that's really sweeping the country.
Right.
That a lot of experts say even now when you go to places like Scotland or England, there is a big culinary scene that's just what people are into now and will attract people who'd want to visit.
I watched Anthony Bourdain do whatever his show was the last time in Sydney, Australia. And I went, well, there's no food in Australia. It's terrible. There's no. And he's like all with these superstar chefs, and they're 3 different restaurants, and everybody
Yeah.
has like 9 restaurants and stuff. So they're gonna be seen somewhere really fast. Because like Tom Douglas, what's he have? 11 restaurants on the same block?
72,
No,
yeah.
72 restaurants. No, but literally, doesn't he have 11?
Yes.
I
yeah,
think he does.
I think he has 11. So now you just get 5 people that are great chefs, and you give them all 11 restaurants. They're now 66 restaurants in Kentucky. Watch me do that math, which was flawed.
It
but
was
you get
close.
the idea.
The current season of the Bravo Cooking Show has 4 episodes left, and they're in Aspen, right? You're not caught up.
I'm a season and a half behind.
That's right in your ass hat. Don't turn left.
Speaking of whiskey, if you have not bought your tickets yet for Whiskey Rocks, you need to. It's happening March 10th at the Terrace Club at Safeco Field. Remember, last year's event sold out, so make sure to get your tickets now. WhiskeyRocksNW.com. It's your chance to hang out with us, but also to drink whiskey and bourbon from around the world. There'll be live music and much more.
Which helps when you're hanging out with us to have a couple of whiskeys.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at sports. Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. You guys remember the game back on December 10th, the Seattle Seahawks, the Jacksonville Jaguars. There was a nasty end to the game.
Oh, yeah. Everybody was fighting.
Yeah.
Mostly us.
Wait, which teams?
This was the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks defensive end Quentin Jefferson was pelted with bottles and trash by fans.
Right. He got ejected, and when he was walking out, they were talking smack, and he went back to kind of yell at a fan, and they threw a beer at him.
Now, according...
Oh, yeah, I remember that. He wasn't really hit with a bottle, though, was he? He was hit actually with a cup of beer, I thought.
They threw bottles, trash, and other
Crazy,
items.
man. You could really hurt a guy. Especially if he's already, if I remember, I'm thinking of the picture in my head, his helmet was off.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was, yeah.
Very dangerous and just not classy. Well, according to the Jacksonville Jaguars, it was concluded that 4 individuals threw objects onto the field. Based on the available video evidence, we were able to positively identify 2 of those individuals. Those 2 individuals have received notice due to the severity of the violation of the fan code of conduct. They are banned indefinitely.
Awesome. Good.
Yeah.
They are banned. You can't do that.
You can't do that unless you're in Philadelphia. That is
Yeah, then
expected
it's
of you.
encouraged, yeah.
At the Olympics, a lot of action continues. I did get sucked into watching figure skating and curling last night.
Right?
Derek, how much curling have you watched?
Only women's curling, but quite a bit.
Well, I saw a thing on my phone on my news alerts that says, move over Angelina Jolie, this crazy curler chick.
Have you
is
not
there.
seen her yet?
No, I just saw it this morning while sitting in my
Oh,
room.
that's been the hot story.
Yeah,
of the
she's not the
Olympics.
end of the world, but she's pretty for a curler.
I think she looks a lot like Megan Fox.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's what most people have
who's
said.
extraordinarily hot.
Yeah, she is.
There's pictures of this Russian woman, like No makeup on, hair in a ponytail. She is stunning.
Tiny bit of a unibrow.
I didn't notice unibrow. I only
Well, I only
noticed
saw
the
one picture
piercing
of her,
blue
so.
eyes. A lot of people have been talking about her, though, because she's ridiculously attractive. But, Derek, where do we stand with medal counts this morning?
Let's see. Currently, those nuclear Norwegians
God.
are in the lead with 17. In
Yeah.
second place, the Germans with 15. Right behind them are the clever Canadians with 13. Behind them are those numb folks in the Netherlands with 12.
Well, it's cold.
And
man.
exactly. And in fifth place is the astonishing Americans with 8 medals.
Very nice there. How
Who's
did we start that?
leading in golds right now?
That would be the Germans with 9 gold medals.
What the heck, yo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of golds,
Yeah.
Shaun White
Yeah.
did represent the United States in incredible fashion by winning a gold medal this week. He won gold in the half pipe, and then
Third gold. this
Third
guy.
gold.
Yeah.
That's third gold in the Olympics, but this was his
Right.
first on this Olympics, winning the gold in his half pipe. And he pulled out the American flag upon learning he had won gold.
I gotta tell you, I don't mean to interrupt, but I watched this happen, and I thought because he's making an uproar, right? There's an uproar in today's paper.
That's
right?
what we're talking
Yes.
about.
Right, but I'm checking with you because you've got today's paper and I do not. There's a thing going on, right?
There is an uproar online.
So-
I don't have a paper, but
I watched it, and there's Shaun White, who I've been rooting for like crazy.
Yeah.
The other Americans and everybody that medals got the flag up, and they're holding it at arm's lengths behind them for photo ops. It's an obvious
see that
great
all the time,
photo op, right? Shaun White then takes it and drops to the ground. The second it hits the ground, I go, no, Shaun, because I like this guy. You're going to hear about this all day long. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. He starts walking, and he's dragging the flag. And I'm yelling at my wife. I'm yelling, Amy, oh, my God, what's he doing? Look. And she didn't care. But then it gets worse. So he's walking away, right, dragging the flag.
Yeah.
Then he turns. When he turns, now he's walking on it. And he's walking all over the flag. Am I correct? And that's what happened?
yes, he got careless with the flag. He let it drag on the ground behind him. He inadvertently stepped on it. And his careless behavior did not sit well with many Americans,
This one.
upset that he violated the United States flag code.
Although to upset me, because I like this guy, there would have to be even the smallest bit of intention, which there was not. He just become the only guy to do 3 medals in this sport. I mean, his whole world has just blew up in his face, and it's amazing. I don't think he meant to do any of it, but I saw it happen, and I would have known not to do it.
Yeah, and the problem is that he clearly didn't do it intentionally, but you should be more aware
Right.
of what to do when you are holding an American flag. Now, he is apologizing. He did not mean to do it. The flag code states that a flag should never touch the ground.
Right.
And
Yeah,
so
but I also think that it states you shouldn't hold it up behind you. You shouldn't wrap yourself in it. There's all kinds of things that according to the flag code, you're not
Yeah,
supposed to
but
do.
I think
that people do all the time.
I'd be with you because I'm trying to make excuses for this guy. But the fact of the matter is, I can't imagine a state of mind in my mind where I'd drag a flag on the ground and then
Right.
turn to go, what'd you say? And be standing on it.
yeah,
so
this
whatever
was
other
far
things,
beyond what is in the code.
whatever else there is in there, you can't do that. He should have known better. But here's the great thing about this. There's not a physical victim saying this is what he did to me. He just gets to go on Good Morning America or what the big enough platform is to go, oh my God, I was out of my mind. I'm so sorry. I mean, and all will be forgiven as soon as he does that properly.
in NCAA basketball, the Huskies face the Utes at 6 tonight. The Cougars, the Buffaloes, 8 o'clock tonight. The Gonzaga Bulldogs will face the Lions at 6 o'clock. And Seattle U's Redhawks will be playing the New Mexico State Aggies, 1 o'clock start time. Mariners spring training right around the corner, my friends. Next Friday, the first game will be against the Padres. And that's your look at sports, brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys at 1-800-DUIOA.
This traffic report is brought to you by Aer Lingus. In Renton on I-405 southbound F44 Street, we have an accident that's currently blocking the 2 left lanes. And in Seattle on Highway 99 northbound at East Marginal Way, there's an accident there as well, creating some stop-and-go traffic. It's never too late to plan that perfect spring getaway. Aer Lingus, Ireland's airline, invites you to discover Europe this spring. Fly from SeaTac to Dublin and connect to 25 European destinations, including Rome, Paris, and Amsterdam. Smart flies Aer Lingus. That's www.airlingus.com. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
It is 7:02, and stick with us until 7:20 because we're going to play the game that's sweeping the nation, and that is called Whose Hit Is It? And you can win a pair of tickets to see Journey and Def Leppard, and that's all happening at the Gorge, 7:20.
We were talking about the plans to bring back the Concorde.
Right.
The plan is for it to be flights from New York to London, which is its old route, and it would be 3 hours, which is cutting travel time in half. And this is a very fast plane.
Yeah, it's funny because I whine at people that go, oh my God, it's 8-10 hours to get to Europe. Like, hey, you know what it took the people that came over here to Ellis Island to get here? 3 months, and half of them died.
Right.
For God's sakes, 10 hours. But then I totally become one of those guys. I start complaining and whining, why can't this be faster?
They stopped the Concorde for a couple of reasons. There was a crash, which was devastating, and then a lot of complaints about the noise. It was also expensive. So it wasn't as if they were making a ton of money because the ticket price was so high.
Right.
But they've decided to bring back the Concorde, and they believe that it will be less loud.
Okay,
That boom
the
will
actual
be-
Concorde? The same plane?
Same design of plane.
Oh, I thought we were talking about a whole new thing and it had less of an impact on the world or something like that. The same plane that I've been on over at the International Museum of Flight.
Yeah, it's going to be
They're not going to give that one a
updated
tune-up and put
version.
it back in the air,
That's
right?
they're going to rebuild Concordes?
It has to be similar to that because that is designed specifically to defy the speeds.
Right.
That it has to be a streamlined design like that. It's not going to be that exact plane.
Okay, so they're not bringing back the Concorde.
They're calling it the Concorde.
Oh, they are? Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yes, so they are bringing back the Concorde, and that's the name of it. They'll probably call it Concorde Super Special because it's awesome.
You're going to have to talk like that to do it?
I think they probably
I
won't
wonder
call
if
it
they
that.
do the super special Concorde.
There's this show that was on for a long time, a Fox show. It was called Fringe, and you realize that there are two different realities. It's like another Earth that mirrors our own.
This show on right now, exactly that thing. It's called, with what's his face, the guy that sells insurance and wins Academy Awards. There's two of everything. J.K. Rowling,
J.K. Simmons?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
J.K.
guy.
Simmons.
That guy's in it, and he talks to his other because somehow he slipped through. But that's still,
Oh, wow.
people love that idea,
Yeah.
apparently.
Well, in the other Earth, the Hindenburg, what do you call that?
Dirigible?
Yeah, but there's another name for it. I forget what
blimp?
it is. A blimp,
A
yeah.
blimp and a dirigible, and that's it. You're out of, I think you're out.
Those are the modes of transportation, and they're beautiful.
Everybody's flying around in blimps?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And they look awesome. I'm thinking, man, if we could bring that back and make it safe.
Did you know that there was you would sit down to a formal dining
Yeah.
service in the Hindenburg? I had no idea. Then I saw it in one of the Raiders of the Lost Ark movies, and I said, this can't be right. And then I looked it up. It's totally
Yeah.
true.
It looks awesome,
It does
doesn't it?
look awesome.
So let's bring that back with the Concorde.
No.
No?
That could not be safe.
Oh, the humanity?
A
Yeah.
balloon going over the Atlantic where there's almost constantly lightning?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'll tell you, I'll bring back, though, although I guess this is already brought back and it's really expensive. I'd like the paddle boat to be brought
paddle
back.
boat?
The paddle boat. Not the kind you rent at the park.
Oh.
The big paddle wheel.
Yeah.
It's got
like
a steam engine.
steamboat.
Yeah. The
Oh,
steamboat,
steamboats
paddle
are-
boat.
Steamboats are classic.
Whichever way you want to go.
Yeah.
But they're doing them now, and they're super expensive. Like a tour of the Mississippi, a 5-day tour of the Mississippi is $12,000. And on
Yeah.
other things, it's $3,000.
That sounds like a fun mode of
It does
transportation,
sound fun.
though. Those are
It
neat.
does.
Well, you guys listening, what old mode of transportation do you think would be fun to bring back? Join the conversation. Call us at 800-252-1025.
It's so funny because in my head, the question is, so what kind of oldie-timey mode of transportation you would want to bring back? Of course, I'm thinking it because of the Concorde. That's not oldie-timey at all. Man, we get used to stuff really fast.
Yeah.
Mine was the paddle boat, a steam-driven paddle boat cruise ship up and down the rivers around here. I think, what did you say you wanted?
The blimp,
The blimp.
the Hindenburg.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Seems a little-
You know the expression, there are no bad ideas?
Yeah.
Well, that's wrong.
Right.
Anyway, what kind of old-time transportation would you like to be brought back? Here's the phone number, 1-800-252-1025.
What about Brent in Port Townsend? What do you think, buddy?
Hey, Brent.
Hey, good morning, my people.
What's up?
Hey, I used to hitchhike in Alaska, and I got rides easy, and it was cool. Then I realized it may be dangerous after being picked up by an intoxicated dude that would not let me out of the car.
Oh,
All right, now let me
wow,
ask you
scary.
something, Brent, because I used to hitchhike all around, my friend Jim O'Neill and things like that. And everybody I know that, now, are you anywhere near my age, or are you a younger man?
I'm right there with you, Danny B.
Then I got to ask you, maybe this doesn't happen in Alaska. I don't know anybody that used to hitchhike a lot that the driver of the car didn't take out his wiener. That seems to have happened
Oh.
all the time. Brent, everybody ever take out their wiener at you?
Thank God, no.
Ah, you haven't lived.
So it was just Brent
It was
taking
just
out his
Brent
wiener.
going crazy. Thanks, buddy.
And Jeremiah in Seattle, what old mode of transportation do you think would be fun to bring back?
Good morning, sunshine.
Good morning, sweetheart. What's up?
The old muscle car. These new ones that they got on the road, a remake of them and that, Camaro, the Charger, they just suck. The design sucks. The old ones, I mean, they're cream of the crop.
I only a little bit, because in general, I agree with you. But I happen to think the new Camaro, like our station's car Camaro,
Yeah.
is the finest piece of automobile engineering. I think that's every bit an American Ferrari. But I'll put a GTO
Yeah.
up against 1967 GTO convertible against any $300,000 supercar.
Right.
So I'm with you there. Thanks, Jeremiah.
Well, and it's even, the Dodge Dart. I love I think it's the 71 or the
Yeah.
69. I forget exactly which one, but I'd like them to bring that back, but with power steering.
Oh, and power brakes.
Have
And
all
power
the modern
brakes.
conveniences, of course.
Yeah, but look like that. The
Yeah.
new Dodge Dart.
Try parallel parking a car that doesn't have power steering. It's crazy. I don't know how people did it.
You want a classic muscle car with a backup camera.
Yes.
Yeah.
800-252-1025. What old mode of transportation do you think would be fun to bring back? James in Bothell.
Hiya, James.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Yeah, I've actually seen one of these, but it's a Roman chariot pulled by a full-blown Harley Davidson.
Okay, that's a little crazy.
I've seen Harley Davidson's pull kind of crazy stuff. Was the chariot part of the bike? Did the driver sit or stand in the chariot?
Well, the driver's in the chariot, and the harnesses are also hooked up with throttle and clutch controls, and there's nobody on the Harley. I've seen one in Sturgis.
crazy.
I've seen one on television. I don't think it exists that you can go buy it. I think it's much like
Modified.
all motorcycles. It's unsafe to start with,
Yeah.
but then you go. It has reins. You can say "whoa" to it and see if it's going to stop for you. But I've seen it and it's awesome.
Let's just bring back chariots.
By the
though.
way, as long as I'm going to go on chariots, this is going to sound bad. I think I don't know. Rickshaws.
Yeah?
Yeah, you know why? I used to have a rickshaw.
Oh, geez.
My ex-wife, who weighed 94 some odd pounds,
You'd make her pull you
was
around?
also raising children that didn't exercise or anything like that. But I was trying to get into shape for a fight. And I went out and I got this rickshaw, and I'd go down to Venice Beach, and I would pull my whole family on a rickshaw.
Wow.
And I got in great shape.
I bet.
They're still lazy, every one of them.
Richard in Monroe, an old mode of transportation you think would be fun to bring back?
Well, it might be kind of dumb, but the horse, I think it'd be kind of cool. Everybody has to ride horses.
I'm
Yeah,
with him.
I like that.
Yeah, a lot
I
of
agree.
poop involved with that.
I'm okay.
But
I'm okay with that.
I think you can give a guy a job. There's, a lot of jobs in parades where the guy goes behind the horses.
Yeah.
And that's his job, to keep the streets clean. Because a lot of things that happen in the old Western towns and things like that, that what happened in those Western towns, disease happened because it just became 3 inches thick. But aside from that, I think that'd be, didn't you say you used to go somewhere and tie up your horse ball?
No, but we used to go through like the drive-through.
drive-through, that was it,
We'd
that
go
was
through Taco Bell and McDonald's drive-through on horseback.
CJ in West Seattle, good morning.
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 What's that?
Yeah, back when I was a kid, there was a hydrofoil that ran from Seattle to Victoria, BC that I never got a chance to ride, but
always wanted to.
That sounds crazy.
So funny to think of oldie timey. Yeah, bring back the hydrofoil. It's not even in English. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
But they've got stuff like now. Our fast ones are technically catamarans, I believe. Whenever I think catamaran, I think sailboat. But I think the two-hulled boats.
Yeah.
That's a catamaran. So yeah, I think you're right about that.
Those hydrofoils scare me.
Where they come up out of that.
Yeah.
You ever seen the water ski one?
No.
Where it's a guy and/or a girl, and I've only seen it on TV. You get pulled behind this water ski that then raises 3 feet out of the water, and you're on another ski. That's
I
3
have
feet.
seen that, yeah.
3
Crazy.
feet below. That's just like that's dumb. You're crazy, but it looks neat.
Bill in Lakewood, what do you think, buddy?
Hey, can I say hi to Tori this morning real quick before I give you an answer?
Real quick.
Good morning, Bill.
Hey, Tori, you're looking good today. I saw you on Danny TV.
Oh, thank you.
All right, and then it turned creepy.
There's a brief glance, but you know.
That's
Just
enough.
a brief glance.
A brief
Really?
glance of Tori is enough for most mortal men.
Is Bill saying he looked away? I can't imagine he looked away.
What's happening, Bill?
She's not Medusa.
No, you guys didn't leave the camera on long enough. That's what happened.
Oh, gotcha. Tori, just put one on you permanently.
I got
You
it.
should.
So what do you
anyway,
think,
so
Bill?
I'd like to ride elephants. Like Hannibal crossed the Alps. I'd like to cross the I-5 or whatever.
They're super slow.
Yeah.
They're not like you're not going to get anywhere fast on an elephant, and have some experience on elephants. You ever been on an elephant there, Bill?
No, I have not.
Their hair is like wires,
Yeah.
and they go right through your jeans, and they hurt your nards and tickle your taint, and it's not a great way to get around.
Not in a
Not
good
to
way.
mention, they don't really like it.
Yeah.
It's not super nice for the elephant.
Well, Bill and I are top of the food chain, and that elephant can shut up and do what we tell it to. Thanks,
Steve
Bill.
on I-5 this morning, what do you think a fun mode of transportation to bring back would be?
I want to see people in Seattle riding those oldie bikes with the big front wheel and the small back wheel.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Those things are classy.
No,
I
but
want one of those so bad.
what are you going to do with it?
gotta ride it
have you
around.
put me up on the seat because I don't know how you get up
Exactly. I don't know how
there.
you get up. I don't know how you get down.
How ridiculous were those, though?
But okay, then I want to bring back the actual big wheel. The kids' tricycle thing?
Yeah.
I had a great time on those things. They should have ramps both ways. You go downhill. That'd be bitchin'.
Adrian in Tacoma, what do you think?
The Wells Fargo stagecoach. I would love to ride that.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, the
would be
Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street, coming down the street. I wish it would stop for me. That's the Wells Fargo song, kids.
Is that right?
That was my impression of Judy Garland, too.
Paul, you, what do you think?
I grew up playing the video game Oregon Trail, the computer game Oregon Trail. So I'd like to travel by cart and oxen because I got really good at it, forging the river
Yeah, sure.
without losing any oxen.
I don't know that game. That's a video game?
Oh, yeah. It's like a computer game. It was-
I've heard it mentioned, but I've never seen it.
oh, it was
90% of the
huge.
time on that game, you end up with dysentery.
Yeah. Everybody dies of dysentery.
Yeah.
But that was all we did in computer classes when we were a kid here, at least when I went to school. Yeah.
It's
Gotcha.
just you go to
Oregon
Toys R
Trail.
Us and there's that game. Go to the left of that and there's the Fun Donner Party game.
It's exactly
Where,
like that, yeah.
Before dysentery sets in, you just eat your friends.
Right.
Tori, an old mode of transportation you'd like to bring back?
The Rolls Royce of ancient India, the Palki. Do you
Yeah.
guys know what that is?
Yeah, there's
Fancy.
that one.
I know cousin Palky.
What are they called? The guys that own them? Shaw? No. God, they had a cool name. But that one guy had 57 of them.
Yeah, I just want 4 hot guys around me, really.
Yeah, I got to tell you, they are beautiful. Now, see, she sees 4 hot guys when you know who I see? I see Cruella DeVille.
Aw.
That's what she rode in.
Wow.
She was awesome, too.
That's where they carry you around like it's a
no.
box.
It's an actual Rolls Royce, right?
No, this is actually a box, a fancy box that you're
yeah.
sitting
Yeah,
in.
that's what you're
They
thinking
carry
of.
you around on
No,
those
there's a
poles.
Shaw there that had 57 of them would hold a parade every year. But I couldn't do that one.
You can do the
But
let
people
someone carry
carrying
you.
me all the time, I'd feel terrible for them.
Yeah, but it's Tori who weighs 12 pounds.
That's true.
right.
4
and
guys.
The 4 hot guys.
8 pounds each, you guys. We can do this.
And Derek, you?
I would like to take a ride on the Wright brothers airplane. I know they crashed a few times, but I think I'm willing to test my luck on that one.
Those old planes. Bring those
Yeah,
back.
the
Pretty
actual
fun.
Wright brothers plane.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
tell
okay
you,
with Derek doing
Does
that.
anybody remember yesterday's show? I'm sure that's a no. On yesterday's show, we discussed whether a healthy man could throw a grenade 90 feet.
Right.
Do you know most of the Wright brothers flights didn't go that far before they crashed? I can throw a baseball further than the Wright
So I'd
brothers
get from
flight.
here to Baskin Robbins,
And
is what you're
boom.
saying.
But that's a great place to crash.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, it's time to play Whose Hit Is It?
Whose hit is it?
You can win tickets to see Journey and Def Leppard in September at the Gorge. If you want to win your way in, call now 800-252-1025. We're playing Whose Hit Is It for your chance to win a pair of tickets to Journey and Def Leppard at the Gorge in September. To win, you will have to correctly identify whose hit is it, Journey or Def Leppard.
Maybe.
It'll be from Danny's Clue.
Is that
You'll
right?
have to-
There's a maybe thing? It could be the Beatles?
It's probably Journey or Def Leppard.
Well, I think it would have been better. No offense. If it could have been the Beatles or Zeppelin.
And I'm not saying it won't be the Beatles or Zeppelin.
This guy had a black dog. Well, okay.
Our contestant is Mike in Ruston.
Hey, Mike.
Howdy, guys. How are you doing?
We're doing very well. Thank you very much for asking. A couple of important questions here. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Most times.
All right, then. And do you understand the rules of the game?
I believe so.
Then here we go, man. All right. Whose hit, released in 1979, was a gut-wrenching tale of a love gone wrong with the desperate opening lines, "You make me weep. I want to die." Wow, it's kind of a downer. But the perfect balance of soulful pop vocals and heavy rock guitars made the group's very first top 20 hit, reaching number 16 and helping the album Evolution go triple platinum. Can you tell us whose hit is it?
That'd be Journey.
That would be Journey, man.
That would be correct.
All right, and I want points for how well I read that.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Yeah, I want to go with you, Mike.
You should get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
What are the bonus points? How many arms? How many arms does the drummer have? What's the bonus
Wrong
question?
hand. The song.
What's the song?
Oh, what's the song?
It doesn't matter. You win.
Love
you still win, Mike.
I know.
I want to die. All right, say words.
Oh, Mike. Mike, you're going to the Jeep Winners window in our lobby to pick up your tickets to Journey and Def Leppard at the Gorge, and the rest of you can join us tomorrow for one final round of Whose Hit Is It?
This traffic report is brought to you by Lucky Eagle Casino and Hotel in South Seattle on Highway 509 northbound at Highway 99. We do have all lanes blocked just prior to as you merge onto the highway due to an accident there. And in Renton on I-405 southbound at 44th Street, we are seeing some stop-and-go traffic, about a 10-minute delay. Every Saturday, Lucky Eagle Casino and Hotel has special offers to thank all our military and first responders. Join them between 8 a.m. and midnight to receive $10 in free play and a 25% food discount in any of their restaurants. Details at luckyeagle.com. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
You know, a lot of people look forward to the weekend because they can catch up on their sleep. You know something, if you start sleeping with a MyPillow, you won't need to catch up on your sleep because every night you will sleep well. It's a really amazing pillow. I used to sleep on a down pillow. It got really flat in the middle of the night. It also got really hot. I'd have to flip it over. I'd have to fold it and punch it. That doesn't happen with MyPillow. One of the other reasons I love MyPillow is you can just toss it in your washer and dryer and it's like new. Try doing that with the pillow you've got and see what happens. You'd probably ruin your washing machine. Another great thing about MyPillow, it is made in America. The deal they have right now is the 4-pack special. 2 MyPillow premiums and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillow for half off if you use my promo code KZOK. It's a great deal. Call 800-304-4756. That's 800-304-4756. And don't forget the promo code KZOK. The 4-pack special, 50% off. You can go to mypillow.com. That's mypillow.com with promo code KZOK.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Aer Lingus. We're looking at partly cloudy skies this morning. It's going to be mostly dry until the rain and wind pick up for Friday and the weekend. Highs in the mid-40s, and it's currently 39 in downtown Seattle. It's never too late to plan that perfect spring getaway. Aer Lingus, Ireland's airline, invites you to discover Europe this spring. Fly from SeaTac to Dublin and connect to 25 European destinations, including Rome, Paris, and Amsterdam. Smart flies Aer Lingus. That's www.aerlingus.com. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking there can't possibly be more entertainment on that show. Well, you would be wrong. Stick around. Coming up, it's the big news of the day.
A couple of stories we'll be talking about. Bad news for people who drive gas-powered vehicles. Blame it on the alcohol. Studies say yes. And a piece of 80s and 90s nostalgia coming back. This is good news.
There's news, and then there's the big news. And the big news is brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE. If you don't want to do that, you can go online and go to goldbergjones.com.
President Donald Trump yesterday suggested that a 25-cent increase in gas and diesel taxes might be needed to help pay for the administration's new infrastructure plan.
How many percent?
25-cent increase.
That's still a lot. You can't do that.
Especially here in Washington,
Yeah.
where we pay among the highest already.
Yeah.
I think second highest behind California. Now they are trying to figure out how to get this infrastructure plan paid for, and
and that's in the trillions, not even billions.
It's
Remember when $1 million was a lot of money?
Yeah.
And then everybody, you know how you can judge these things? Judge them by crime movies or blackmail movies or anything like that. In my day, they'd say, all right, give us $1 million and you can have the kid back. And then something just happened. And one day in, I think, the 80s, they went, all right, you want the kid? It's $1 billion. Or how much, Die Hard, how much are they stealing, Mr. Willis? $25 billion in gold reserves. And now I just saw my first movie trailer where something's $1 trillion crime.
Wow.
I think it's maybe, I don't know. Well, anyway, it's $1 trillion crime now. And now this is what they want. They want $17 trillion for the infrastructure.
The transportation secretary has said that he has not ruled out that gas tax. It's not ideal, but the president has not declared that anything is out of bounds. So everything is on the table.
And I'm sorry, is it 25 cents per gallon or just 25 cents each fill up? Or
25-cent increase in gas and diesel taxes. I don't know exactly
how they're getting to it. Right.
Yeah. According to a new study from the School of Psychology in Australia, nearly half of all violent crimes in the United States are committed under the influence of alcohol.
Oh, I would believe that. Easily.
Yeah.
They've enlisted healthy young men and used MRI scans to measure their blood flow. They were given drinks. One was a placebo, one was vodka, and they were then hooked up to an MRI machine and have noted that it is something that causes aggression.
Right.
You can blame it on the alcohol.
So is there anybody in the world that didn't know that you're going to get a little more aggressive?
How many millions did they spend on this study?
Who took the placebo and didn't know it wasn't vodka? Hey, that's iced tea. And it's all brown. I can tell that. But this is why they outlawed. This is what caused prohibition. But I'll tell you this: I would rather, with some regularity, a stranger just punch me in the face for no reason, rather than I couldn't go to a bar with my friends. It's worth it.
I guess what they're wondering, though, people do stupid stuff while drunk.
Do you know how many tattoos I have that I can't recollect why I got them?
But to see that it actually could have neurological receptors affected that make you aggressive and angry.
Yeah.
I guess that's where the study comes into play.
When I was drunk and on steroids, I used to just go around and kick people I wasn't even talking to. I wasn't even involved in their lives.
An irate woman was kicked off of an airplane because of her seatmate. You know, sometimes you get onto the airplane, and if you have a 3Z or if you're flying solo, who are you going to be sitting next to? She got on a plane. She's a woman named Marissa Rundle. She, I'm sorry, the woman's name is not that. That's the woman who has the issue. So this woman, lady number one, gets onto the plane and goes to her seat. There is a baby in one of the seats.
Oh, and that became baby number two. And I'd want to switch my seats as well.
Well, what do babies do?
They cry and they poop.
They make this sound. She, according to witnesses, freaked out about having to sit in the back of a plane near a baby. She was using vulgar language and said, the woman said, stop using that language in front of my kid, please. She wouldn't.
In front of the baby?
There's other children around as well.
Oh, because I was going to say shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
I say the F word in front of baby. You have to be at least 4 before I watch my language around you. I'm Paul.
Please stop using that language around my son. She said, shut the flip up and where the sun don't shine and a couple of those sorts of things. She said, I am not sitting.
Put that baby where the sun don't shine. Where do you think it came from?
The overhead compartment.
She said, I'm not sitting next to a crying baby. And the mom said, he's not going to cry the whole time.
Although he is probably going to cry the whole time.
No, he's probably not going to cry the whole time.
And that's not his fault. It's a pressurized cabin. It's weird to be in an airplane as a grown person, let alone a baby. I'm sure they're freaked out, and that's why they cry.
Well, thank you for that. Now we know why the baby is crying, but we don't know what happened.
When I flew from Australia, from LAX to Australia, there was a baby, and I almost lost my mind thinking a 15-hour flight and the baby's going to cry the whole way. It didn't.
But you didn't start screaming obscenities at the baby.
I did not.
No?
She finally apologized and said, sorry, I'm really stressed out. And they said, that's fine, but you're not flying on this plane. And they escorted her off.
So she apologized before they kicked her off? Because I'm all involved in all these stories. Yeah. When I'm getting kicked off a plane, I immediately start with I'm sorry, I've had too much to drink, I didn't mean it, I've been up a long time. So did she apologize before they said get off this flight? Or did she? Because one counts a little more with me.
It was after. She started the conversation with the flight attendant by saying, "What's your name?" And the flight attendant gave her name, and she said, "Good, because you're probably not going to have a job tomorrow."
Right.
That was the first words that she said.
So
to the
yeah,
flight
too late
attendant.
to apologize. You got to get off my plane.
Yeah, and it was after they were asking her to leave that she started apologizing.
She said, "What's your name? You won't have a job anymore." And they said, "Okay, you're going to have to get off the plane." She said, "I'm sorry, I'm really stressed out." And they said, "That's okay. You can just get off the plane now." And it's all caught on video because that's the world we live in now.
Awesome.
Somebody's cell phone pops
The
up.
irony is, 45 seconds into this, it was the woman that was crying and not the baby. So everybody had to put up with her.
And where can't you buy that baby?
The duty free.
That's
in
right.
the duty free shop.
I should have done it in time.
A piece of 80s and 90s nostalgia is about to come back. Slice Soda.
Oh, yeah, I remember Slice.
Slice Soda is officially making a comeback. And it's making people very happy about this news because people who drank in the 80s and 90s like to see that it's coming back. But
people who drank in the 80s and 90s?
Who drank this in the 80s and 90s.
Because, by the way, awesome mixer. So people who drank in the 80s and 90s will like to see this.
Is it that much different than 7-Up or Sprite?
Totally different.
Really?
No. Well, it's about to be totally different.
Oh,
because
it's going to be
not
a cola.
even totally, Paul. Totally.
We're bringing it back, and it's coffee.
It's going to be a low-calorie beverage. Slice will be low in sugar, instead sweetened with fruit juice.
Fruit juice?
You're gonna sweeten fruit soda with fruit?
Yeah, that's actually pretty crazy.
Yeah.
They also might have some flavors like grapefruit, berry, and lemon lime, but they haven't decided yet. They're still going to do some testing.
Okay, well, grapefruit, I was drinking a soda and it said grapefruit soda, and I steered away from it because this doesn't sound like a good soda, grapefruit. And then there was nothing else, so I had it. It was awesome.
And then you remembered Fresca? Fresca's delicious.
Is that grapefruit? I didn't know that.
And Squirt is grapefruit flavored, but they just put so much sugar in it that it's really delicious.
Those are all grapefruit? I didn't know. All this time, I did not know that those were grapefruit sodas.
Well, good thing we've got a soda machine just 50
I don't
feet
trust
away.
them. The ones I'm talking about were like those Doc Browns and things like that.
Oh, like
different.
the Safeway brand,
I wasn't sure if that was a growl or a yum sound.
It was both. It was a yum growl.
Well, we'll end on that yum growl sound. That was the big news of the day. And it's brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men at 1-800-DIVORCE or online at goldbergjones.com.
Stay with us. Coming up next is Sarah's Filthy Forecast.
It's Sarah with your filthy forecast. If you didn't get some for Valentine's Day, you will today. You might get some light, wet rain twisting and spinning overhead. In fact, some of you woke to white powder. Remind you of the 80s, Tooch Man? I miss temperatures in the 80s, but today it'll only reach around 46.
I'm sorry.
Snow in the higher elevations. Find someone to snuggle up with this weekend. Bust out the hard wood and the bearskin rug. Build a fire as it's going down to the 20s at night. I'll go down to the last detail for the next forecast. See you then with the best weather front in Seattle. I'm Sarah.
My goodness gracious. I'll tell you, I used to get high in the 80s. Now I don't care what the temperature is. Thank you. I'll be here all week. That was Sarah's Filthy Forecast. I'd like to remind you that you should be here tomorrow right around the same time, because if you can tell us where Sarah's Beaver's been, you're going to win a pair of tickets to the pre-screening of the movie Annihilation.
This traffic report is brought to you by Aer Lingus. In Renton on 405 southbound at 44th Street, there's an earlier accident that has been cleared, but you're still seeing about a 10-minute delay. And in Highway 509 northbound at Highway 99, there's an accident that is currently blocking the shoulder, causing about a 15-minute delay there. It's never too late to plan that perfect spring getaway. Aer Lingus, Ireland's airline, invites you to discover Europe this spring. Fly from SeaTac to Dublin and connect to 25 European destinations, including Rome, Paris, and Amsterdam. Smart flies Aer Lingus. That's www.airlingus.com. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
It is 8:03, and if you don't love IHOP, I don't think we're going to be pals. It's like the Beatles with me. If you don't like the Beatles, if you don't say, yeah, of course, the Beatles are the greatest thing ever, you're probably not coming to my house for dinner. Same thing with IHOP, and we could have that dinner together. Who wants pancakes for our friends at IHOP? Well, they're not just about pancakes anymore. IHOP has over 10 different big old omelets, all served with a side of pancakes, so you don't have to choose. Keep listening this hour for your chance to win a $25 gift card to IHOP, which is bitch. By the way, are flapjacks and pancakes same thing?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah? Cool. We can have them too then.
Johnny cakes are different. Johnny cakes are made with cornmeal.
Right. And
Yeah.
that's for guys traveling across the country on horseback and stagecoach.
Yeah, but they
Right.
do still serve them in restaurants. You can get Johnny cakes.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go
I
get
think
some.
it's more of a New England item, or like New Jersey and New England.
I
Any of the
summered in
news.
Maine,
Yeah.
and I don't know. What, Paul?
Any of the news.
Any of the news?
New York.
New York, New Jersey, flapjacks.
New Delhi.
Yeah, oh yeah, they love them some flapjacks.
Glad I started this.
But some of those things like flapjacks, pancakes, and Johnny cakes, they're not expensive, and that's like one of life's little pleasures.
Yeah, no, that is
Pancakes.
not an expensive deal. You can get them, and especially if you make them. If you make them, I'll bet they're 8 cents a pancake. And that's
Yeah.
like, I'm not kidding. That's about 8 cents a
Yeah.
pancake with those ingredients.
My husband went to Wajimaya yesterday and came home with the biggest smile on his face. He was so happy because he bought a lot of those ramen bowls.
Yeah.
That is one of those things that, I'm not kidding, makes him so happy, and it's so cheap. I'm like, go out, get yourself some ramen, kid.
Because
Have it.
it's made the leap. You gave me for Christmas. You gave me a whole bunch of different kinds of ramens, which
Yeah.
I love. Well, we're about $1.39 each,
Right.
I would imagine, but plenty of them. But on the other hand, I go out to ramen specifically sometimes, and that's $17 a bowl now.
But if you buy the instant ramen or
Almost
any of those
free.
noodle soups, so inexpensive. And your Christmas gift was not a bank breaker.
No,
for
but
me
it was.
this year.
You know what? I'm not completely done with it, and it's great. I think about you every time,
Aw.
and I'm a huge fan of those ramens. I will tell you something that is just food wise fantastic, almost free, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Chicken McNuggets. Now, do you
Yeah.
remember we had the guy on that? What's his name? Daryl.
Derek.
Derek, yeah.
Same thing. Derek was in here, and I said, "Yeah, you can get 10 McNuggets for what was I wrote it down for
Like $1.49.
$1.49. Thank you very much." And he looked at me like, "No, you can't." Well, you couldn't that day, but that was a deal they had run 6 months ago. 10. What is it? 14 cents a McNugget?
Yeah,
and they're like
that's
the
crazy.
greatest thing on earth. That's almost free. I have 14 cents on me.
Something inexpensive or free that I love is the library.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
totally free.
I'm
Library's
against
great.
it.
And now it's not just books anymore. It's brand new CDs and DVDs.
Yeah.
New movies, new TV
Yep.
shows. You can
Also,
get
a
'em.
little bit like cross training because you can leap over the homeless guys, work up a little bit of a sweat.
Well, you guys listening, what is something inexpensive or free that you think is fantastic? Call us right now at 800-252-1025.
Sure, if you listen to us, you might get a chance to go to the iHeartRadio Awards in Los Angeles with all those big stars. But if you listen to us, you could also get free pancakes. And what are you going to pick, really?
Yeah.
I think it's free pancakes. And so that brought up, because if you make pancakes at home, I'll bet I'm right. I'll bet they're under a dime each.
That's so
the
inexpensive.
ramen you got me for Christmas, the 28 different kinds. So thank you very much. But that must be like $1.50, $1.75 for each. That's a bowl of food. I picked the chicken McNuggets, man. 10 of them for $1.49. I don't even know how that is possible. But so what is there? Is there a food item in your world, or any item in your world? Come to think of it, any item at all? Do you think, man, that's drastically underpriced?
Yeah, something inexpensive or free that you think is fantastic. What is it? Call now and share 1-800-252-1025. Michael in Gig Harbor, what do you think, buddy?
Hey, Michael.
Hey, how you doing this morning?
Very well. Thank you for asking. What do you got for us?
Penny for gold.
Yeah, I don't know if it counts because I'm not a judge. I'm just a friend of yours, and I'd rather get punched in the face than pamper. It seems cold, and there's like kind of an amusement parky thing I did when I was a kid at Knott's Berry Farm. You can do it, but is it cold and wet and horrible, Michael?
No. There's actually a few rivers right underneath the I-5 between Tacoma and Seattle. You could get gold all day long.
Look at that.
I'm going to give that a try. I'm probably not really going to give that a try, but I would say to my new friend Michael, I'll try it.
I can't see you on a river underneath the freeway panning for gold.
I think out of everyone in this room, though, I'm the only one who's done it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think you're the only one who's lived under a bridge in the freeway.
That's very true. You didn't pan for gold there. You might pan for gold teeth, but you didn't pan for gold there.
Something inexpensive or free that you think is fantastic. What do you think it is, Ken in Seattle?
Hey, Ken.
Good morning, you beautiful people. How y'all doing today?
We're very well. Thank you for asking. And you, sir?
Awesome. I'm doing great.
Great. What do you got for us?
The only thing in the morning that keeps me from just driving to the guy in front of me is listening to you guys every single morning for free, wondering what Derek's going to say at the end of the day. What you guys are going to come up with is awesome entertainment.
What, you
Nice.
listen? Well, kind of nice, although I don't know where I stand on listening to the show to figure out what Derek might say.
Something cheap
But
that
it's
he
still
enjoys.
He's cheap.
Derek.
Yeah, definitely cheap. For
Where,
sure.
where Paul and I are discounted or a fine,
We're inexpensive.
fine
We're a
value.
good value, yeah.
Derek is cheap.
I'm the cheapest.
Yeah, he's the cheapest. Thanks, man. I very much appreciate that.
Something inexpensive or free that you find fantastic. Kevin in Everett.
Hey,
Good
Kev.
morning, you people.
What do you mean, you people?
Hey, Tori.
Hello.
What's happening? Hang on, Derek might say something. All right, go ahead, man.
There's this thing in Seattle called First Thursday, and a lot of the museums and whatnot are either free or reduced fare.
Yep.
Like the Pacific Science Center, Mohi, Museum of Flight, the Seattle Asian Art Museum.
Wow.
Every first Thursday of the month.
Well, I
That's
did
pretty
not know
amazing.
that
Yeah.
as I went to Mopub just the other day. Was it $28 a piece? Is that possible?
Yeah,
It's pretty
sometimes
crazy.
even more.
Crazy, man. But while I was there, I picked up a David Bowie Labyrinth shirt, and I swear to God, I've had 9 compliments already today.
It's a great shirt,
Everybody
man.
keeps walking by going, hey, man, cool shirt. So I'm happening.
So you bought something relatively inexpensive, and look at all of the compliments
Look
it
at
has
all of
yielded
that.
you.
Let me go.
And Hillary calling from Everett, something inexpensive or free that you think is great.
Jack in the Box tacos.
Yeah.
Are they
we're
still
right there.
2 for $1?
What?
Are they still 2 for
they're
$1?
so good.
Do you know?
No, it's like 2 for $1.29 now. Went up a little bit.
It still seems like a great thing. And is there meat? Can you prove that there's meat in those?
It doesn't. They don't say that there's meat in them,
They don't.
and it doesn't look like meat.
It doesn't look like meat.
What is it? You
But
think
they're
it's
so
soy?
good. I don't know what it is, but it's so good.
I begged it, but
It's unnatural for sure.
I'll go with breakfast Jack or egg McMuffin then.
yeah.
What are they, like $1 now for that? Oh, there's dollar deals at McDonald's and Jack in the Box, just so
Yeah.
I'm not always constantly loyal to McDonald's. That's a meal. That's breakfast for $1.
But even at McDonald's, they do $1 for a soda any size. So you can get a small soda, which is like a normal person size soda, or you can get the giant bucket of soda, which is what everyone gets.
Okay.
And it's the same dollar.
Speaking of buckets, it's $5 or $6 for a bucket of balls at Elliott Bay driving range. That's a day. That's like a date with my wife.
Yeah.
I spend the whole day there hitting balls. Well, hitting is a little strong, but swinging at balls, and it's like $5. It's a great
fun.
day out.
Something inexpensive or free that is great, in your opinion, is what, Brian and Fife?
Well, question. First of all, has Tori not ripped the shirt off of your back, Tanny?
More than once, but not this one. Yes, the first person I said good morning to today was Tori, and she was thrilled at my David Bowie shirt from Labyrinth specifically.
It's beautiful.
So I have two for you. First one is bottled water at Costco. It's got to be like 3 cents a bottle. And then out in front of a lot of Walmarts, you can get a Coke, an actual real Coke, for like 25 cents.
Do you know, I will tell you this. In the iHeart Radio world, you can get a 16-ounce Coca-Cola, I believe they are. 12-ounce Coca-Cola in a can, or a Dr. Pepper, or a lot of different, a quarter. I couldn't believe, I felt like that's the perk. When they were dealing with my lawyer about getting me to sign a new contract, I think this is what tipped it in. By the way, Coca-Cola's 25 cents there. And I said, okay.
Something inexpensive or free that you find fantastic is what, Christina and Graham?
Good morning, you guys.
Good morning, sweetheart. What's up?
It's the cute little squirrel that comes up to my porch every morning waiting for his Ritz cracker.
Oh,
you know, here's the thing. I would mock you just because it's kind of easy, my squirrel. But I was going to offer this, sweetheart. I was going to offer my view from my house.
Yeah.
Completely free of charge and kind of, I mean, it's there all the time, but sometimes I don't know what it is about not expecting. You just look out and there's the Space Needle and the sound and the city and you just think, that's totally true. I don't know if it's up there with your squirrel, but I like it a lot. So I'm with you, Christina.
A squirrel, and she gives it a Ritz cracker. I want to see pictures.
Yeah.
Okay, that crazy lady's dog.
Turtle.
Yeah, he makes me crack up every time I see him. I don't even have to feed him.
And that's inexpensive and free for you.
Yeah.
Paul, something inexpensive or free that you love?
I'll say this. When you go to Costco, which is already a great value,
yeah,
you can get Danny, you know this, a giant hot dog and a soda for $1.50.
Yeah, you can. It seems crazy.
Yeah, if I could drop this microphone right now, I would do it, but it's attached to something.
Yeah.
$1.50 for a hot dog and a Coke.
Yeah, and it's a great deal every time.
Tori, something inexpensive or free that you love?
I got two. So the free C's candy that you get when you walk in, and the free donut you get when you go to Krispy Kreme.
You get a free donut when
Tori,
do.
Can I tell you something?
Always?
Always.
She's also never paid for coffee in her life.
Can I give you a little tip? I love you like my own kid and everything, but I bet some of the things in life that are free for you aren't free for others. And you might want to check before you start dropping that. I'm going to go with BMWs. They're like $3. No, that's you, sweetheart.
Derek, what's your opinion? Something inexpensive or free that you love?
So as you know, we have a Sling Master who listens to the show,
Sling
Sling
Master
Master
Dave,
Doug. But there's an activity I love that's also free, and that's skipping rocks.
Yeah,
I'm Skip Master Derek. I can skip a rock across an entire lake.
How
It's
big
insane.
of a lake?
Just a small one.
I can skip
No,
a
Danny,
rock
it was
with a doughboy
Danny,
bull.
it was this
puddle.
big. It was
Was it?
huge. Yeah.
Who wants pancakes? Pancakes, man. And you want to get them from IHOP. Well, they're not just about pancakes. IHOP has over 10 different big omelets, and they're all served with a side of pancakes. So you don't have to choose. You want something? You want a $25 gift card to IHOP? Well, here you go. Caller 10 right now. 1-800-252-1025.
This traffic report is brought to you by Taco Bell. Let's see here. In Renton, we had an earlier accident on 405 southbound at Sunset Boulevard. It has been cleared, but you're still seeing some stop-and-go traffic, about a 15-minute delay. And over in Ravenna on I-5 southbound at 45th Street, also seeing some minor delays there as well due to some stop-and-go traffic. Have you seen the trailer for Web of Fries? You need to. While the movie is shrouded in mystery, Taco Bell's new $1 nacho fries covered in Mexican spices and dipped in warm nacho cheese sauce are very real and delicious. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Aer Lingus. We're looking at partly cloudy skies this morning. It'll be mostly dry until the rain and wind pick up tomorrow, continuing into the weekend. It's currently 39 in downtown Seattle. It's never too late to plan that perfect spring getaway. Aer Lingus, Ireland's airline, invites you to discover Europe this spring. Fly from SeaTac to Dublin and connect to 25 European destinations, including Rome, Paris, and Amsterdam. Smart flies Aer Lingus. That's www.aerlingus.com. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
Detectives are investigating after tens of thousands of dollars were reportedly taken yesterday from safes at a Pike Place Market business. Police responded at 5:30 in the morning after reports that multiple safes had been taken from a produce stand near the Pike Street entrance to the market. Officers later discovered that the business had been entered through a hole that was cut in a security gate. Detectives are asking anyone with information to call the non-emergency line. And sad news when it comes to SeaTac Airport, Ivers is officially moving out.
Yeah.
They had been told that they weren't allowed to have a restaurant there. Then they went and made it a kiosk, and now they said it's not working out.
That's kind of one of my go-to places. But we are standing in that big courtyard, and there's 7 places to pick from or so. And I usually go with Ivers. I get the trout, and it's really good and way to go. It's a weird thing to have for breakfast, but it's still delicious, man. And I'll be sad to see them go.
They had more than 31,000 posts, phone calls, emails that were sent to the airport voicing disapproval, and they are still going to be leaving SeaTac.
I can explain that. You got a captive audience. What are you going to do? Whatever they put there is going to be busy, and we have a line waiting for it.
Yeah.
Does anyone else want fish and chips right now?
Yep.
Kind of, yeah.
In national and international news, this morning, the Florida shooter was formally charged with 17 counts of premeditated murder and booked into Broward County, Maine jail. The 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz was denied bond on these charges. He had been taken to the hospital with labored breathing yesterday after this attack when they were able to capture him. He was questioned for hours by state and federal authorities. They are not revealing the results of that questioning yet.
What's in the water in Florida?
I don't know. There's got to be something, though, right?
Remember, the guy that shut up the gay nightclub? I forget what it was called.
Pulse?
Or gay-friendly nightclub, if you will. Pulse.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest single shooter in American history.
Yeah.
This is one of the 10 deadliest shootings in modern U.S. history. And the last...
In general, not just school? That's it?
In general.
Wow.
I believe it's the third worst fatality for school shootings.
Right.
Yeah. There was a big mess on I-75 in Oakland County, and authorities are saying, despite sounding pretty gross, they don't think there's much of a danger to public health. 2 semis, these are trailers carrying an estimated 55 tons of number 2, overturned.
Where'd they get the number 2?
Well, it's leftover, it's...
Well, is it people number 2, animal number 2, just
People.
one
It's
guy
probably
with
one and
lactose
2.
intolerant guys number 2? I'm just curious.
It's I don't even like saying this, even though I can. Human waste.
Ah, there you go.
They are
People used
saying,
to say that to me when I was growing up. Just look right in my face, go human waste, and I'd say I'm not positive.
a company was called in to clean up the spill, but they had to clear out what kind of business do you want to go into? We've all talked about that before.
Murder scene.
The murder scene and human waste cleanup, and not in my top
poop removal.
10. It's not even in my top 2.
I'm wondering if I could just do this by telepathy now.
Oh, duty free?
There you go.
Say duty free.
Nice. I can. I don't have to
You
do
can't
that.
buy that truck in the duty free stuff.
Exactly right.
So that we're on a septic system, so we have to have somebody come out and pump it. And anytime that guy comes out, I say whatever he charges. Like if it's $1,000, yeah, give him that. $5,000, whatever it is, because I'm not doing that. I'm getting a hose and a truck, and yeah.
Well, and again, who chooses to go into that business of septic tank removal?
Apparently the hose, if you listen to Paul. I think that's a terrible thing to make them do.
The waste had been headed to a landfill, which I also thought was a little disturbing.
Yeah, gross.
There's a nice story making news yesterday involving a flight to Florida. And we had so much horrific news out of Florida yesterday that this did come as a bit of a surprise. A man and woman were on a plane filled with several other people. They were in Chicago making their way to Florida, to Tampa. When everyone is in their seats, somebody starts filming this. This video has gone viral, and it shows a man listening to the pilot speak on the loud system to everybody on the plane, and here is a bit of that audio.
David and Audrey Rose apparently have smuggled an extra passenger on board today.
What?
Miss Audrey has recently discovered that she is with child, and we'd like to have a special welcome aboard to that new life.
What?
And let everyone know that what happened.
What? The husband has no idea and just keeps saying, what?
Oh, the husband didn't know?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Because otherwise, it's just a Southwest guy being wacky again. And, man, I want to sit down between shut and up because I hate those guys. But, okay. All right.
That's how she announced it to the
it's
husband.
lovely.
And everybody clapped, and she had asked ahead of time if they would help, the pilots would help her make this announcement, and they did. She said that they exchanged information with that pilot so that because he wanted to know when the baby is born and born healthy.
I thought it was that old crazy lady that keeps getting on airplanes.
Yeah. We've had so many bad stories on airplanes that was just kind of a cute one, an innovative way of telling somebody that you're pregnant. Although he is now embarrassed and a little bit mad at her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she says he's very excited about the pregnancy, but he's a little in shock and a little embarrassed.
Oh, wow. We'll tell him to shut up. He can sit on my side of the plane with shutting up.
Archivists at a New York college at a library stumbled upon an intimate artifact of George Washington.
Uh-oh.
I don't even want to know what you think it is.
Yeah.
Well, I would automatically think underwear or marital aid.
Yeah.
Both of which were made out of wood for that guy.
Right.
That's got to leave a splinter in a tough spot, really.
A lock of his hair.
Oh, that's totally different. Oh, let's make a new one.
Oh, we should clone George Washington.
And make him ride a woolly mammoth that we cloned. And talk to that sheep dolly. We should keep them all in one room.
I wonder how far we've come with technology that I know it used to be that you needed that root.
Right.
You know, you needed to pluck it out of somebody's head to get anything significant out of it. But we've come so far. Maybe a piece of dead hair would be able to be cloned into your woolly mammoth and George Washington.
Cool.
This is Schenectady's Union College, and they believe that this is something that nobody knew was there, and it has been there since 1871. It is inside of an envelope, and that hair is tied together with a thread written on a piece of paper that says Washington's hair, August 10th, 1871.
So where'd they get it?
It was inside of a book, and it's just some 18th century almanac that, you know, you go to the library and there's a lot of books nobody's taken out.
Because I don't even know if Washington lived to see the 1800s. I'm not sure. A lot of the other guys did. You always think of them in the 1700s.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh, wow, that guy lived till 1826?
I have a lot of random facts stuck in my head, not the date of Washington's death. I do not know the answer to that.
Have they, is there a way they can test it or verify it? Because I don't want to clone the guy and then find out it's somebody else.
But if you're not going to clone him, why do you care? You should just accept it's George Washington and go, woohoo.
1799, unfortunately. December 14th.
Yeah, all you have to do is make it 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
What did you ever do in your life, Washington?
Imagine they clone the baby and it comes out looking just like that. Like that big nose and that crazy hairdo.
That angry scowl.
Yeah.
It's born looking like a fully aged George Washington.
Yes.
That's what I used to think happened, by the way, in cloning. I thought it was like whatever day I wanted them cloned, they came out like that.
It's got that big blue hat on with the feather.
A sad story involving an elk. It's kind of a crazy story, though. An elk was being tracked by a drone. You know, a lot of times wildlife conservationists track animals to see how they're doing, to see if they are procreating, to count how many. Well, this is a drone, but it's technically a helicopter. And they said that this is a research helicopter that has cameras and everything is set up.
But there's nobody in it.
There are people on board, and the chopper was tracking this with all sorts of
Right.
other cameras, specifically looking for these elks. And an elk got spooked and collided with the rotor of the helicopter.
Well, everybody should go to jail, except the elk, who I'm assuming is dead.
Did not survive.
Did
And now
it
it's
take
like-
down the helicopter?
I'm assuming it's like elk stew now.
Yeah.
But take it down. How big is this elk? There was nowhere for it to go down. It was on the ground, I'm guessing.
The elk was on the ground and it leapt. This was a super low-flying research helicopter, and they were hoping to track it.
You know what they should research
What?
is how tall elks are. Let's start with that. The elk leapt. I swear to God, when they get here, tell me elk leapt.
In a bizarre instance that was captured on surveillance video, this shows a scene in Los Angeles where a man broke into a home business and proceeded to get onto the computer inside. The people who own this business live in an apartment that is upstairs. They heard a ruckus. They went downstairs to their business and saw him sitting at the computer watching porn.
Fair enough.
Broke into a business not to steal anything. The library was closed and he
Now,
needed to watch some porn.
If you and or Derek try to watch porn on company computers, what's the fear? Is the fear is they know you're doing it, or can you not look at porn on these computers?
So in the last place we worked, the last building we worked in, it was completely blocked. It was
You just couldn't do it.
get to it. Here, there seems to be less filtering.
Computer in front of me, everything's going to be all right.
I'm a great employee. I've never tried.
Is that true?
Oh, absolutely.
I hate you. That's what it is. I just hate you.
I was researching something for the show, I'm sure. That's how I figured it out.
He wanted to find some porn music to play while we talked about this.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
And
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds believable.
Well, the man was taken into custody, but they are just wondering what was the motivation here that he needed the porn that badly right then and there.
Every boy in this room knows totally exactly what that motivation was.
Yes.
As you know, Danny, from experience and
Here we
research,
go. Yeah.
prisons are different in other countries.
The only time I have ever been in prison was for a charity for people in prison. I've been in jail.
Yeah.
Totally different thing.
But you know, if you go to Mexico or
I've been in jail
Peru, yeah.
And Rome. And now I think I'm out.
But the jails and prisons are just different.
Oh, man. Literally, I spent half a day in a jail in Tijuana. It could not be more different. Now, if you're staying, your family can come
Crazy.
and live in there with you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You can get guns, you get heroin. It's very cool.
Well, in
You
Peru,
get guns and heroin?
Very cool. And that's, yeah, totally.
in Peru, a man named Alexander Delgado Herrera had been serving 16 years, and his twin brother, John Carlo, went to visit him. He seized the opportunity to clap his brother over the head, twin brother, knock him out.
Oh, I know what's coming. He's
That's
gonna
what my
leave the
cellmate
twin.
said.
Yeah, he's gonna leave the twin brother there, and he's gonna pretend he's the guy who's supposed to go home.
Do you
Ding,
think
right?
that you
ding,
just
ding,
figured
ding,
that
ding.
out? That's not coming. That just happened. He clomped him over the head.
He then clocked him over the head,
Yeah.
drugged him so
Yeah.
he would stay
Yeah.
out, stole his clothes, stole his ID, and walked out of the prison.
Yeah,
Eventually,
that's a
this-
good plan. I feel like I
Yeah.
just came up with that.
They do. I can tell. I got it.
twin-
Wait. I'll bet he pretends to be his twin
Yes.
brother.
And then he's gonna sneak out of the prison.
Oh, no. Yeah.
The twin wakes up. He's like, "Oh my gosh, what am I doing here?" And they're like, "Yeah."
See, he
ha,
didn't
ha."
see it coming.
He did not.
He
did.
should have listened to me.
Can I just tell you right now? 4 words. Shenanigans.
Really?
You think he's in on it?
Yeah.
Well,
that would make sense, the twin brother, because then when he wakes up, he just goes, "I'm the twin." Let
I've
me
only
go."
been knocked out a couple of times, but I've also seen people get knocked out a couple of times, and nobody spends more than about a minute. After a minute, unconscious, you're not the same anymore. You bop a guy over the head.
But he drugged him too,
drugged
right?
him.
Once he was out, I don't think that's all that easy. Anyway, I think the brother's in on it.
Well, it took a while for him to convince authorities that he was not the evil twin.
Because they don't understand fingerprints in Peru.
They eventually fingerprint. Well, they didn't believe him. They eventually fingerprinted him, and they're like, "Oh, dang, this is not Alexander. This is John Carlo." And now they are looking for him. It took them like 6 months. They eventually did find the guy, and he is back in custody.
Now, during that time, did they go, oh my God, you're not him, you can go?
Yes.
Then it worked. That was the plan the whole time.
Yeah.
Nobody was in jail.
Right.
So your theory's terrible, Paul.
Yeah, Paul.
My theory?
Yeah, you know.
What was his theory?
All right.
Whatever it was kaput.
You know, we've seen it in movies. I've never heard of it happening in real life. But a man had to call 911 after the gas pedal of his car got stuck while going 100 miles per hour down a highway.
Yeah.
He called 911.
Did they tell him that he was stupid?
No. Should they have?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, if you finish the story, and I'll tell you why the guy's stupid.
He called 911 and said, I think my gas pedal is stuck on my car. I'm on I-95. And they said, you need to try the emergency brake.
They're stupid.
He
Yeah,
said,
that's not
ma'am,
going to work.
I'm not going to do that at 100 miles per hour. I'm sorry. He then tried to put it in neutral. He then tried to decelerate. None of it worked.
Okay, here's why he's stupid, and yet nobody's ever tried this. Turn it off. Turn your car off. It's the first thing
Can
they
you
teach you in
just turn it
driver's
off?
ed.
Well, let him do that if it's not in park?
Yeah, turn your car off. Turn your ignition
I don't
off.
know that my car would turn off
It
while I'm
would.
driving.
I guarantee you it would.
I'm not sure how to try that safely.
I think I accidentally tried it last night in that I pulled into my driveway, pushed the little button to turn my car off, and it just said, put your car in park. It flashed on the dash.
Now, to be honest with you, I never tried this, or this did not come up in the era of remote starts.
car,
This is the
yeah.
thing they taught you in high school. They
With
taught
the
me in
key,
high school.
yeah.
Just turn your car off.
I have a feeling it will not work with these push button.
Well, today is Thursday and tomorrow
cars.
is Friday, correct?
Yeah.
We will
I
know
know what
tomorrow
that
morning
means.
at 5:46.
Okay, you're going to do it.
Yeah, of course. I'm going to do it in the driveway.
My
I can't
car's
live
brand
like
new,
this.
man. I'm too chicken to do
Yeah,
that.
no, I can't live like this. There's something I could know and don't. I'll fix that in about 15 minutes.
I had
Or
a
an
buddy
hour.
who scared the hell out of me one time. We're driving down the road on the freeway going like, 70 miles an hour. He pulls his key out of the ignition and just throws it in the back seat. And the car just keeps going like nothing happened.
You know,
my
that's
goodness.
a kind of car. I think a Honda does it like
It was an older car, yeah.
pre-1980. I was
Yeah.
just going to say that. My key used to just come out of the ignition, too.
Yeah,
crazy.
when the ignition switch is really worn out, those cars generally you can start with a screwdriver.
That's why I think they're probably the number, because when you see the number one stolen car in America, you go, but that's not really worth anything. On the other hand, it's probably worth, $500 to $1,000, and you can start it with a dime. It's like unlocking the bathroom door.
Yeah.
Well, they eventually did get this guy's BMW to stop going 100 by a pit maneuver.
Really?
They had to do a pit maneuver. He had driven 50 miles before they were
In
able
8 minutes. By the way, the world is a lucky place that I don't have a real fast weirdo car this year.
Why?
Because that's
You'd try it
brilliant.
at
I'd go.
100 miles an
I'd wait
hour.
till I'd drive to work at 4 a.m. I'd go 100 or more and call 911 and go, hey, it's me, Danny Bondici. I'm driving a cool, crazy, out of control muscle car. I got to come save me. And then I'll figure out how to turn it off right when I see the cops.
Well, thankfully, they were able to get the car stopped. He complained of chest pains and was taken to a hospital.
I didn't have chest pains, but I had palpitations during the Shaun White gold medal roll.
Did
You
you?
know,
yeah.
watching it happen.
I was on edge.
I was freaking out.
I have a brand new beer blog up right now at KZOK.com. I sampled a beer from Connecticut, of all places. My beer blog is up at KZOK.com and brought to you by 210 Brewing Company at Angel of the Winds Casino Resort. Thanks very much to them for sponsoring my beer blog. Fantastic beer to be had up there, and you can check that out now. We still have a lot of show left to come. Music news, entertainment, sports, and more.
This traffic report is brought to you by Taco Bell. On I-5 southbound at 45th Street in Ravenna, we had an earlier accident that has been cleared, but you're still seeing some delays. And on Highway 509 northbound at Highway 99, there's an accident right now that is currently blocking the shoulder. Have you seen the trailer for Web of Fries? You need to. While the movie is shrouded in mystery, Taco Bell's new $1 nacho fries covered in Mexican spices and dipped in warm nacho cheese sauce are very real and delicious. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
In music news, Tommy Lee is off the market again. The Motley Crue rocker decided to take romance to another level. He proposed to his girlfriend, Brittany Ferlin, in celebration of Valentine's Day.
Oh, nice.
He is 55 now. She is 31, and she is somebody who is well known on social media. She does a lot of vlogging.
Okay. By the way, that's the exact age difference between me and Amy, I think.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
This is, the fourth time he'll be married?
I don't know. I got Pamela Anderson Lee, or whatever. How does her name? Yeah, Pamela Anderson Lee. That's the only one I'm aware of.
Elaine Bergen, Heather Locklear.
Oh, that's right. That was a weird one.
Yeah.
Yep. Pam Anderson. He was engaged last year, but now is engaged to a different person. Congratulations.
Right. So he's not married, though.
Not yet.
Okay, cool.
And Gibson Brands, the makers of the iconic Gibson guitar, played by Slash and many of other people.
Bonaducci.
Yeah.
We always use our last names.
Well, unfortunately, they are running out of time. They have serious debt issues that if they don't resolve, they could shut down.
Well, tell them to have a freaking sale once in a while.
They are concerned they might not be able to refinance in time, and if that happens, no more Gibson guitars.
Wow, that seems unthinkable, to be honest. Somebody will buy it. They'll always be Gibson guitars for sure.
I hope so. Taylor Swift counted another courtroom win this week, although this time around it's lyrics from one of her songs.
How ironic if the song happened to be called "You Can't Grab My Hiney." Totally weird to win that court case.
This is her 2014 song, Shake It Off.
I like that song. Well, actually, I don't. I like her. This is a stupid song.
Well, this is the part in question. Players gonna play. Haters are gonna hate. Players gonna play.
Yeah.
You know the way it goes. Somebody said, we had a song called Players Gone Play, and they sued her saying you stole our lyrics.
I'm thinking, now this is just a guess, I'm guessing they lose this fight.
Well,
Players gonna play? Everybody says that.
Right. Oh, that's the song?
Yes.
Yeah, this is a group 3LW,
And
Three Little Women.
Don't forget, ballers are gonna ball.
Yeah. Do they say shake it off? Because if they say shake it off,
Yeah,
I'm
they think they
stuck
might
to
have
it.
something here. Why are you gonna be so mean?
The judge
That's a song.
has dismissed the case, saying that these lyrics are unoriginal and uncreative.
Oh, he's a music critic, too.
Here we go. Hey, you give the guy the gavel. Wow, that was a lot of G's, man. You give a guy a gavel, and he's gonna, he thinks he's important. He's gonna tell you how life works.
They are not creative. These lyrics are banal. Therefore, you can't sue. Something everybody says.
Because
These are just-
everybody knows play is going to play and
Yeah.
hate is going to hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ball is
And did
gonna
he
ball.
say banal?
Yes.
Wow.
Let me start that over. Our iHeart Radio Music Awards are happening Sunday, March 11th from the Forum in Los Angeles.
Celebrating all original lyrics and awesomeness.
Right.
KZOK wants to send you to the show on Us. Keep listening for the new keyword and your cue to text. You could win airfare, deluxe hotel accommodations, and tickets to the show. If you'd like to buy tickets, they are also available through Ticketmaster. There is a report from Us magazine this morning saying that Amy Schumer got married.
Really?
She married a chef named Chris Fisher
That makes sense.
Tuesday at a house in Malibu in front of, this is according to Us, in front of celebrities like Jennifer Lawrence, Jennifer Aniston, Larry David, David Spade, and Judd Apatow. He is a chef.
I bet that was a funny reception.
Yeah.
Do you hear those names?
I bet.
There's, I don't know, a lot of surprise because she was with a dude for a couple of years. They just broke up. These two have only been together like 6 months or something.
It's stupid to get married fast.
Think there's a prenup?
I do. Although, how much is the chef worth? How many restaurants does he have?
He's very successful, and he does have books as well.
Yeah.
One of his restaurants is one of the Obama's favorites.
Really?
On Martha's Vineyard. So I'm sure he
What's
comes
his
from
name?
money. His name is Chris Fisher.
Chris Fisher. Nope. Don't know.
Never heard of him either.
It says he's worth about $5 million.
Not enough.
She needs a prenup.
She must be worth $50 million. You know what? When you get in the millions, but yeah, I've never had a prenup. Once I really wish I would have had one. But it's just a kind of embarrassing thing. Will you marry me? But you can't have any of my stuff if this doesn't work out.
I don't trust you.
Yeah.
The basketball player, Blake Griffin, who's now allegedly dating what's her butt Kardashian. What's her name again? The real hot one?
Kendall?
Kendall Jenner. She is now suing him, his the baby mama, 2 kids with this basketball player.
She's the Kardashian's the baby mama.
No, the baby mama is suing Blake Griffin, saying he dumped her for the Jenner kid. And the reason that they never got married is because she was refusing to sign a prenup.
Right.
And then he dumped her, 2 kids, they're about to get married, and she wouldn't sign the prenup, so he left her for the Jenner
is he
kid.
rich?
Crazy rich.
She'll do very well in the child support.
She's suing for palimony.
Yeah, she'll do great. She might not win palimony.
But it is...
It's a tough one. Lee Marvin was the last guy that I thought really got successful palimony.
I mean, if you are living with somebody, the intent is to get married, and they say, like you just said, sign this... It's a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, but if you didn't sign it and you went, no, you made the right choice, didn't marry that person, you're not entitled to any money for that. For kids, you're entitled to a boatload.
The Walking Dead is set to feature its first fully nude person with a catch.
Yeah.
It'll be a walker. It'll be a fully naked zombie. Now, some people are saying, that's a fetish. There's somebody who really wants to see that.
There's somebody hip to that somewhere.
We have seen just about everything on The Walking Dead.
By the way, my ex-wife played dead a lot, if you know what I'm saying.
That's terrible. They have not said yet what the gender will be, but fully naked. And I wonder if everything will be intact, because a lot of times with the zombies, stuff's missing.
Yeah, parts fall off.
Yeah. Let's take a look at sports.
Sports
brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY, 1-800-DUI-AWAY. The Mariners' spring training starts next Friday. Pitchers and catchers, people are there practicing, and the game is against the Padres next Friday. Unfortunately, something has already gone wrong. The spring training camp is underway in Peoria, and Ryan Healy has a hand injury. He is undergoing tests to determine the extent of the injury. We just picked this dude up. He is supposed to be our starting first baseman.
Yeah, from Oakland, right?
Yes. And he went to workouts and wasn't feeling 100%. It's like, I'm not sure what's going on. Took a couple days off, tried again. He is now seeing a doctor.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not good news. Some good news for former Heisman Trophy winner Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
Johnny Football. He went on television earlier in the week and said he is bipolar. He is medicated now. He is doing everything he can to get back to football. He now has been invited to the Developmental Spring League, as they are saying is the first step to getting back to the NFL.
Developmental Spring League, isn't that where you train the athletes for the Special Olympics?
No, I don't think so.
I think it is. No. It's got the same name. I'm not making this up. I don't think.
The Spring League is for people who want to get back into football shape and get the focus of football scouts and experts, so he could go there and show, I still have mad skills, yo.
Right, which he never showed anybody ever once he got out of college. Yo.
A couple of highlights from the Olympics. Axel Lund Svindal.
Yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah.
He won the medal in the men's downhill today. And at age 35, that makes him the oldest skier to win an Olympic gold.
Yeah.
An old man at
35.
And let's see what else. American skier Michaela Schifrin won the first of what people say could be several golds. She had a win in the giant slalom. And some other tidbits from the Olympics. A radio host has been fired for insanely awful comments he made about one of the attractive snowboarders. Chloe Kim.
Where's this guy, an American?
Yes. San Francisco.
Yeah.
I don't even want to describe. He just called her a hot piece of beep and said the countdown is on for her 18th birthday. He has
So she was a minor?
Mm-hmm.
Even I didn't make that mistake with Britney Spears. One day on the air when she was 15 or 16 or whatever it was, and I thought she's really hot in that schoolgirl outfit. And I said, man, oh man, is she talented. And I didn't even make that mistake.
And some other highlights. The Olympic dream came true for Akswani Frimpong,
Yeah.
the first Ghanaian to compete, and he made
He's a
history.
Ghanan in Korea, making him Ghanaian, I think. Pretty sure that's how that works.
100% right about
thank
that,
you
yeah.
that. That was a little effort on my part. But
Derek,
It didn't seem it.
the Olympics medal count.
Atop the leaderboard is the nuclear Norwegians with 17. Behind them in second is the Germans with 15. Beneath them are the clever Canadians with 13 medals. In fourth place, you have the numb people from the Netherlands with 12. And we are in fifth. The astonishing Americans have 8 medals.
You want to hear something astonishing?
What?
Not one of those horrifying fart sounds was from me.
That is
It's usually
astonishing.
me, but
That
I
is the
thought-
first
I heard-
time
I went to go
ever.
in, and you did yours, and oh, that's plenty. And I just kept going. I think that's awesome.
Those weren't
Enough said.
actually sounds, though. I think he was doing the real thing.
Yeah. I don't really do impressions, so
The
I just
Atlanta
had to go
Hawks,
natural.
the basketball team, the Atlanta Hawks.
Yes.
They had a Tinder night, and it has now paid its first dividend, a match resulting in marriage. Ben McCleskey and Avery Armstrong had their first date at the team's Swipe Right night back in 2015.
I don't think I could marry a girl that I met on Tinder. I mean, I've never been to Tinder, but isn't it a place you go, come to my house for sex right now?
Yeah.
So didn't she go to a bunch of people's houses for sex right now before she met you?
This was a little different in that they put people's picture up on like the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
And then you could swipe left or right. Right. It's all people that are right there at the game.
Oh, so it's less horrifying.
Yes,
Yeah. All right.
much.
It's Tinder-esque. It wasn't actually on Tinder.
Well,
I'm not marrying anybody I met on Grindr either.
No.
I'm not.
you can legally.
I realize that. Thank you.
This was in 2015. They are now getting married on March 3rd. And the Hawks, the Atlanta Hawks, are not only footing the bill, they are hosting the celebration. When they found out that this became a successful match, they were thrilled.
That's
and
great.
They reached out to them and said, we will pay for it. They have now decided that they will host their wedding, and they are going to get married at their courtside club. So their club
If
area.
these guys are hardcore fans, it's like the greatest thing that probably
Yeah.
ever is going to happen to them in their whole
Seriously,
life.
it is absolutely fantastic. And we know how amazing it can be to be in an arena or a ballpark
Yeah.
when something isn't even going on.
Yeah.
as in the sport.
What is it called? The
Whiskey Rocks Northwest.
at Safeco. The Safeco's what it
Yeah.
was. We're
That's
there,
right.
and there's not a baseball game going on, and it just gives you this kind of. It's all this. It's weird because nothing's happening except the event, and the event is awesome. But you look out at the field, and you can go really close to the field and sit down in the chairs. It's very American, man.
And now it's a brand new field that a lot of people haven't seen yet. That
Oh, that's
we get to
right.
see before anybody else.
Well, that's exciting. Well, we hope you join us. You can get your tickets now to be part of this incredible night. WhiskeyRocksNW.com. That's the place to get your tickets. It is called that because there'll be a lot of whiskey there. Whiskey and bourbons from around the world, live music, all of us. Again, March 10th, Safeco Field. Get your tickets now. Lastly, in sports, we got some college hoops happening. The Huskies and the Utes, 6 o'clock tonight. Cougars versus the Colorado Buffaloes at 8. Gonzaga Bulldogs versus the Lions at 6. And the Seattle U Redhawks will play the New Mexico State Aggies at 1 o'clock today. That's your look at sports, brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys at 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
You know, and speaking of hot guys I met on Tinder, coming up next is going to be my pal Steve Slayton's going to walk in the room. He's going to start playing classic rock for you because that's what he does. We'll get out of his way. Bye.
This traffic report is brought to you by Sherry's Restaurants. On Highway 509 northbound at Highway 99, we have an accident blocking the shoulder, causing a small delay. And in Shoreline on Highway 522 westbound at Highway 523, there's an accident there causing about a 10-minute delay. Sherry's Springberry Pancakes are here. Choose from blueberry, raspberry, or triple berry toppings with whipped cream and powdered sugar on a stack of fresh, fluffy buttermilk pancakes for just $6.99. Add eggs, breakfast meat, and hash browns for $3 more. Sherry's, simply great food. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.